This is my command. This is my command. Yeah. Took a break for a minute, a hiatus away from the sick pit. She got a new master, she in my ear with the same bullshit. Her brain, always looking for some chicken feet. You can see her crying in that newsfeed. I know some real ones still living it. Watch how you pivot, kid, cause once you drop it, the bomb will coming back so quick. Y'all sweat, keep on pushing me. You can regret it, the teeth in the tool, cause shred them, the pistol pops. And I say, get them. I've been this shit, might need to remind y'all that you forget. Yeah, God does, but I don't forgive. Cross me and I'm coming to where the fuck you live. We was homies, but he fucked up my re-up. So now we ain't shit. Money put mountains between us, and now he's on my list. Keep my 20s crisp. Y'all been sniffing too much, so listen enough. I done told you what it was. The bigger picture, we came from nothing but dreams of dying richer. But a knucklehead posted on that block. They don't understand you, but I get you. Head up where we walk till they dead us. The God of the devil come and get us. I'm going harder than the rest, working with the rest, stepping without a vest. Foolish on your part, cause your skills ain't nothing compared to my dog guards. Brave heart, swimming where the sharks are. Find me where the money is. Knowledge and drugs since I was a kid. Spoiled milk in the fridge. After I cooked my first sip, told myself I ain't never gonna be broke again. God all day, got money on my mind all day. On the ground with my money on my mind all day. Got money on my mind all day. On the ground with my money on my mind all day. Got money on my mind all day. On the ground with my money on my mind all day. Got money on my mind all day. On the ground with my money on my mind. I'm walking and talking with the devil on my shoulder in the shadows. Souls too cold, sharks swim in the shadows. Look up to the sky. Ask God what I'm here for. Ride up for my family and die for my kinfolk. Rolling with my rebels, push the pedal to the metal. Never will I ever settle. Stop stacking wild. Hell no. Talking evil on my people. Rapping deep as cash smoke. Catch me slipping with my people in the street. Get broke, get rich, die trying before I go broke. Keep a clear vision in my brain. That will I stay woke. Keep the circle small. Keep them all on payroll. These $1,000 bills with purple fall back on your pesos. Artifact. This is the art of war. All black Cadillac, click clack. The floor circle back, peeling waist back. Get it? You can get your door kicked in and get your best friend killed. Not a day goes by without that checks. You know no payload. Smuggle a couple of packages on plane train boats. Flip the chicken in the kitchen, bring it back tenfold. Take one, make two haters. Take one to make threefold. Musical high heat, ask the fiends on my phone. Keep it 100, my this stuff you know we stay gold. Pony up, pony boy, either that or lay low. Get your wig split, all I gotta get to say so. Ride all day, got money on my mind all day. On the ground with my money on my mind all day. Got money on my mind all day. On the ground with my money on my mind all day. Got money on my mind all day. On the ground with my money on my mind all day. Got money on my mind all day. On the ground with my money on my mind.
6:51, and with the forecast, here's Jason Fraser.
We'll see a few clouds develop overnight, but the good news is we're not going to see any rain showers. Now, tomorrow we'll see partly sunny skies, and it's going to be much warmer tomorrow than it was today. We'll see a high temperature of 7 degrees. Winds could possibly gust up to 50 kilometers per hour. Tomorrow night, we could see some rain develop as the low temperature dips down to +5. Tonight, our overnight low is -5.
Right now in downtown Toronto, a few clouds, -1 degree, and at Pearson Airport, cloudy and -2. Still to come on 680 News, it seems like man's best friend may be smarter than we think. 680 News time, 6:43.
This fucking news. Oh, motherfucker. There, you cut off. That's what you get for that shit, man. How much money you make to run that garbage, eh?
Chocolate/Get
This is All News Radio, 680 News.
Partly cloudy and -1 in downtown Toronto. Good evening. The 680 News Broadcast Center, I'm Eden Devada, and here are the top stories this hour. Ontario secondary school teachers continue their deliberations with the province just 4 days before another one-day strike. Talks are still tense, with Education Minister Stephen Lecce saying that strike action will only hurt children. OSSTF President Harvey Bischoff saying they're willing to postpone Wednesday's strike if an agreement can be met. And Unifor President Jerry Dias and other members of the Ontario Regional Council held their annual meeting today, which centered around a show of support for teachers in their current contract negotiations with the province. And coming up after sports, the investigation continues in Alberta after a late-night house fire that killed 2 adults and 3 children. 680 News Time, 6:45. Now 680 Sports with Sportsnet 590 The Fan. Good evening, Frank Gunning.
Good evening, Eden. The Leafs know they have to get going, and a road trip is as good a place to start as any.
I mean, we got to find a way to win some games that maybe can go either way, or even some that maybe you don't even maybe truly deserve to win. But that's what good teams do. So we got to continue to push for that.
There is the captain, John Tavares. The Leafs on the ice now for the warm-up in St. Louis. You can watch on Sportsnet, starting with the pregame underway now. The Marlies pick up a win at home, 3-2 the final over the Rampage. The Steelheads, they shut out the Bulldogs in a 3-0 win. Anthony Joshua is once again the heavyweight champ after a win over Andy Ruiz Jr. And the Toronto Rock start their season today at home against New England in about 15 minutes' time. Sports 15 and 45 past every hour or anytime on the home of Tim and Sid, now on TV and radio. Sportsnet 590 The Fan.
680 News Time, 6:46.
At Lowe's, we have everything you need for your renos for less.
My dream basement has red oak baseboards, sound insulation, and an audio engineer so my high school band can reunite and finally record our concept album.
Well, just about everything. Until Monday at Lowe's, we pay the tax for you when you spend $100 or more. Plus, with Price Match, get an extra 10% off if you find a lower price in-store and online. Conditions apply. Do it right for less. Start with Lowe's. Giving someone a CAA gift membership for the holidays is kind of like saying,
Happy battery boost for when your car doesn't start.
wishing you peace, joy, and lots of restaurant savings.
Merry quick help with that flat tire.
Say happy holidays with a CAA gift membership and get peace of mind with 24/7 roadside assistance across North America, plus great savings on shopping, dining, and more. Buy a gift membership by January 5th and get a $10 gift card. Details at CAAgift.com. CAA, making bad days good and good days better.
Oh,
You're listening to All News Radio 680 News. A small town in Alberta is mourning after a house fire claimed the lives of 5 people. Roger Ward with the Canadian Press reports.
An investigation continues today northwest of Edmonton, where 2 adults and 3 children died in a house fire this week. RCMP say the fire in the home in Rochfort Bridge broke out on Thursday. They found 1 body initially, but then hours later, they found the other bodies and say so far, foul play does not seem to be a factor. From the Canadian Press, I'm Roger Ward.
Many of them don't know where they will be during the holidays. Residents displaced by deadly fire at a North York high-rise last month now speaking out.
Jeffrey, a tenant of 235 Gosford, thought the worst was behind him. He doesn't know where he'll be living in January, all because ROMK management has ceased communication with some of the tenants and denied transition payments. The landlord has provided some temporary housing, but the key word there is some.
It doesn't matter if you have insurance or not.
the keyword is
The bottom line
temporary.
here is we are tenants of 235 Gosford, so they should treat all of us the same.
Jeff says the landlord has reached out to him, but only for money.
They put again in their Facebook page, like, by January, we're going to have to pay our rent again.
I'm Jordan Reed.
680 News Time, 649. A war of words is brewing stateside as the impeachment inquiry into U.S. President Donald Trump continues, with Trump rejecting the House Judiciary Committee's offers to participate in the last part of the hearing of his impeachment inquiry Friday. Also, with the threat of a potential full House vote before Christmas, Nancy Pelosi is moving ahead with the investigation.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi said that participating in the House Judiciary impeachment proceeding would offer President Trump a, quote, chance to show his innocence. Cipollone's letter making it clear, though, the president is not easily intimidated. He goes on and writes, as the president has recently stated, if you're going to impeach me, do it now, fast, so we can have a fair trial in the Senate and so that our country can get back to business.
Following Thursday's announcement that House Democrats would proceed with articles of impeachment, White House counsel Pat Cipollone sent a scathing letter to the Democrats telling them to bring it on. And in some more adorable news, research from the University of Sussex says that dogs are smarter than we think. According to this report, dogs can tell the difference between slight changes in words, as well as recognizing different voices of speakers. They become more familiar with the language over time and can identify words, even if they don't know what the meaning of them are. The study involved 42 dogs of different breeds, and all of them had frequent MRIs. At this rate, it's only a matter of time before it truly does become a dog's world. Coming up in just 60 seconds, traffic and weather together on the ones. 680 News Time, 650.
Right now at Rogers, you can unwrap more. Like buy one, get one when you activate 2 lines with the Samsung Galaxy S10 and S10e on select 2-year plans. That means more for you and them with our greatest BOGO yet. More perfect holiday photos with Samsung's Pro-Grade multi-camera. And infinite data you can share when you get them both on a Rogers Infinite plan. Get twice the nice with Samsung BOGO during the Wrapping Red event. On now at Rogers.
Fever burns like hot tamales, fa la 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 la. Cold and flu season's not so jolly, fa la 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 blah. Don't let cold and flu season give you the holiday blues. Get your flu shot to help protect yourself against getting the flu. If you do get sick, use Benylin and Tylenol products to relieve your worst cold or flu symptoms like fever or cough. So now, nothing else will mingle with your holiday jingle. Available at Shoppers Drug Mart. To be sure these products are right for you, always read and follow the label. 680 News Time, 651. Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Craig here.
New crash out there. It's on the southbound 410 ramp onto the eastbound 401. This report is brought to you by Oliver and Bonaccini restaurants. So yeah, southbound 410 ramp onto the eastbound 401, pretty backed up as you're coming off the 410. And it's a little slow on the eastbound 401 here because of it. It's just blocking the right lane, but that's enough to do this. We have emergency crews, tows, MTO, all on the scene tending to it. It's a short squeeze or a short length of the problem, but it's very slow as you go through it, and it's a tight squeeze, so that's why we're so backed up right now. Our other issues that are still out there are on the eastbound 401, east of the Allen in the Express. The center lane is blocked here with this crash. Tows are on the scene. It's backed up from approaching the 427, and then we're looking at delays on the east 401 east to Bayview, expressing collectors to approaching the 404. Before this, it's still heavy out approaching Mississauga Road over to Mavis, and then at the 410 and the collectors here because of this crash on the southbound 410 ramp. On the westbound 401, looking at volume from approaching Nielsen Road, Express Markham Road collectors to approaching Victoria Park. We had a crash as you approach Victoria Park a while ago. It's all gone now, but the damage is done. So we're looking at volume delays from the westbound 401 here because of this.
Thank you, traffic
our problem approaching Dixon is still there, blocking the 2 left lanes. It's a crash, and it's backed up from west of Dufferin, expressing collectors. Give more than just a gift card. Give them a meal to remember with an incredible view. Oliver and Bonaccini gift cards redeemable at Canoe or any OMB restaurant. Visit oliverbonaccini.com. Your next report is at 7:01. And with the forecast, here's Jason Fraser.
This evening, some of you will see some clouds, but no rain to talk about. Tomorrow, we'll see partly sunny skies. And I think overall, it'll be a much nicer day across the GTA as we'll see a high temperature near +7 degrees. That is about 5 degrees warmer than where we should be around this time of year. Tomorrow night, we'll see cloudy skies and some rain showers are possible, low of +5. And then for Monday, the rain sticks around, and we could even see a little bit of some mixing going on. Talking about some flurries are possible by the latter half of the afternoon. We'll see a high temperature of +8, and for Tuesday, the flurries are possible once again, as we'll see a high temperature around -2 degrees. Our overnight low tonight is -5.
Right now in downtown Toronto, partly cloudy, -1 degree, and at Pearson Airport, cloudy and -2.
This extended forecast is brought to you by Walmart. Who's calling the shots this flu season? You are. Help protect your family with a flu shot from your local Walmart pharmacy. Subject to availability. No appointment necessary. Walmart Pharmacy, partnered with Apotex.
Coming up at 7 o'clock, with only 4 days to go before another one-day strike from public school teachers, pressure on both sides of the bargaining table continues to rise. 680 News Time, 654.
It's here. Our instant savings event is on now, helping you save on travel. Book a WestJet vacation package through redtag.ca and instantly save. Plus, get 250 air miles bonus miles with your trip. Book your vacation now and pay for it monthly with redtag.ca's new, easy-to-use payment option. Don't wait. Plan your perfect trip today. Certain restrictions apply. redtag.ca.
This is the 680 News events calendar.
Celebrate a Nutcracker Christmas at the castle all December long at Castle Loma. Magic and festivities will fill the castle with entertainment, a 40-foot Christmas tree, a walk through Santa's workshop, and more. There's something for everyone to enjoy this season. On daily until January 5th.
Check out the 680 News events page for more at 680news.com.
There's no subway service on the Yonge portion of Line 1 between Shepherd Yonge and St. Clair stations. The TTC is working on the new signaling system, and normal service should be up and running just in time for the Monday morning commute. This is 680 News. Coming up in just 60 seconds, our weekend business report. 680 News time, 6:55.
The world's greatest magicians come together live on stage for a holiday spectacular. The Illusionist Magic of the Holidays. This breathtaking magic spectacular showcases the jaw-dropping talents of the most incredible illusionists on Earth. See them before they disappear. The Illusionist Magic of the Holidays. Coming to Toronto from January 1st through 5th only. Book at meridianhall.com.
Just in time for the holidays, Yukon Furs brings you its biggest and best ever Christmas sale. For a limited time only, find unique, stylish furs at an incredible 40 to 75% off. One-of-a-kind fur garments, specially crafted with only the highest quality North American pelts at an amazing 40 to 75% off. But hurry in, sale ends Monday, December 23rd. The biggest and best ever Christmas sale at Yukon Fur, 1667 Dundas Street West, or online at yukonfur.com.
680 News time, 6:56. Now time for the 680 News Weekend Business Report.
Everything closed.
John Ackerman. Shoes are his business.
Be careful what you start working at. You might end up doing that the rest of your life.
And from Vancouver's John Fluvog on his new autobiography. The full title is Fluvog, 50 Years of Unique Souls for Unique Souls. And as you'd expect, it's a stylish retrospective of the legendary shoe designer and retailer. It's easy to take some of his accomplishments for granted, from being one of the first in North America to import Doc Marten boots to selling his shoes over the internet.
Well, I always like technology, and I like being on the cusp of things. I just started a website before anybody did. Like back in '98, I had a website now selling shoes. That was quite shocking for me to see orders coming in. I went, what? People are actually buying shoes online. It was kind of weird.
Having said that, Fluvog doesn't see the traditional brick-and-mortar store going away anytime soon.
I would say there's always going to be a mix of retail, because the retail stores have turned into a place of community.
His celebrity clients include everyone from divas like Madonna and Beyonce to rockers like Alice Cooper and Jack White.
First thing I really recall being impressed with was maybe the Beach Boys in my store in 1971 or 2. When the movie McCabe and Mrs. Miller was here, Julie Christie was in buying shoes, people like that.
Fluvog admits his life isn't the result of some grand design. If anything, it sounds like pure luck.
I was dyslexic, and I didn't have the grades to get into university. I don't know if I even graduated from high school. I was quite insecure.
You don't know.
So I came from this very, quote, low place, as it were, thinking that I wasn't good at much. And I just happened to get in the shoe business. I'm a small entrepreneur, and you take 2 steps and maybe take 1 back, and it's the story of my life.
For Fluvog, 50 Years of Unique Souls for Unique Souls, from Lifetree Media and Greystone Books. In the Business Center, I'm John Ackerman.
Connect with an audience of over 200,000.
The shoe seller. Never heard of him. I'm all about shoes, and I'm supposed to buy his book now. Book fuck yourself, buddy.
And exhibit opportunities are running out. Don't miss this opportunity to grow your business and connect with a qualified audience of homeowners. Act fast and reserve your spot today. Visit TorontoHomeShow.com/exhibit or call 416-644-5405 for more info.
Hey y'all, I'm David Duke, co-owner of Bruce Chris Steakhouse in the GTA. I literally grew up in the steakhouse business. Started washing dishes and have done every job in the restaurant. I learned from the very best, Miss Ruth Patel, the founder of Bruce Chris Steakhouse.
What I look for in a fucking steak is a steak that's been cooked by a guy that knows how to scrub a toilet.
Served sizzling, it's the best steak that you'll ever have. And don't forget, as Lana says,
Come hungry, darling. Now, 680 News regional weather conditions for New Life Fertility Center. Trying to get pregnant? Call New Life. New Life Fertility Center is Canada's leading and most affordable fertility center with 7 GTA locations. Call for a free consultation. newlifefertility.com.
In Brampton, partly cloudy, -5 degrees. Right now in downtown Toronto, cloudy and -1. 680 News Time, 7 o'clock.
Number 1 for breaking news, traffic, and weather. This is 680 News, Toronto.
Good evening. This is Saturday, December the 7th. I'm Tim Chapman.
And I'm Eden Tababa. Here's what's making news this hour.
The union representing high school teachers in the province calling out Stephen Lecce amidst increasingly tense negotiations.
Meanwhile, elementary school teachers are getting support from the largest private sector union in Canada as they fight against funding cuts.
What is that?
It's okay to say no to charity at the checkout.
We're not just going to throw loonies and toonies away.
Experts say it's one of the leading shopping frustrations this time of year.
A Muslim association is literally rolling out its kindness
to help the needy, those in poverty.
Ahmadiyya Muslim Association volunteers are operating a shelter bus in Toronto this winter.
Shelter bus.
The Maple Leafs hit the road to face
What does that mean? What are you doing? Is that like the Sally Band?
Night in Canada, while the Toronto Rock opening this season against New England. Sports at 15. And coming up in business, companies are using virtual reality to both entertain and educate Canadians. We'll hear from the co-founder of another reality on what needs to be done to help VR thrive here in Canada.
680 News Time, 7:01.
Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Carl. Craig Gear.
This report is brought to you by Leon's Furniture. We're looking at some delays here on the eastbound 401. It's because of a crash that is still in place. It was reported east of the Allen Indy Express, blocking the center lane. Tows were on scene. Everyone was on the scene. It might have actually been cleared away now, so that's really good news. But eastbound 401, we're still looking at volume delays from approaching the 427 to east of the Allen, both express and collectors. On the westbound 401, we had a problem approaching Dixon. It's now cleared away, so that's really great news because we're still backed up on the westbound 401 right from the Allen, both express and collectors, but with this problem gone here, things should start to speed up. And our other problem is on the southbound 410 ramp to the eastbound 401. The right lane is blocked, and it's because of a crash, and it's jamming things up right from the southbound 410, obviously onto the eastbound 401 as well in the collectors. Express is moving fine on the eastbound 401 once you get by this problem. The rest of the slowdowns across the GTA are just volume related, pretty normal for this time. Get your home ready for the holidays during Leon's Ho Ho Hold the Payments event. No payments for 2 years with no money down and no interest OAC. Visit leons.ca for details. Your next report is at 7:11, and with the forecast, here's Jason Fraser.
We'll see partly cloudy skies for the rest of tonight. If you have any outdoor plans, or maybe you're heading out, you can leave the umbrella at home because we're not expecting any rain showers. We'll expect to see the temperature dip down by another couple of degrees. Our overnight low tonight is -5.
Right now in downtown Toronto, partly cloudy, -1 degree, and at Pearson Airport, a few clouds and -2. 680 News Time, 7:03.
Tensions between the union representing high school teachers and the province reached a boiling point this evening.
You smashed any windows or something, man?
With high school teachers.
As Melissa Nakabali of City News explains, the OSSTF released a statement this morning saying that it will call off the one-day strike next week if the Ford government makes a few changes.
The union saying they will accept Education Minister Stephen Lecce's proposal of private mediation and postpone next Wednesday's walkout if the government removes 3 key issues, which include planned increases to class sizes, mandatory e-learning, and allowing some room for bargaining on pay increases above 1%. Unifor President Jerry Diak Yes, and
You guys are the worst negotiators in the fucking world, eh?
bargaining reasonably.
Well, the province can't have it both ways. When we're looking to find settlements and looking to find some middle ground so that, we don't have to take dramatic actions, you would think the government would be welcoming those types of proposals. But this is a government that frankly doesn't care.
Teachers are scheduled to walk out of the classroom next Wednesday, that's December 11th, if both sides do not reach a deal. Listen to Kabuli City News.
6 City News Time, 7:04. Breaking news from Scarborough. Police are on scene investigating a 3-vehicle collision near Markham Road and McNichol Avenue. At this time, there's no reported injuries in connection with the accident. Emergency crews are on scene, so if you're driving in that area, expect some delays. Southbound Markham Road is closed at Green Cedar. Stay with 6 City News for more on this developing story.
China's ambassador is now dismissing claims that 2 Canadian men are suffering nearly a year after they were arrested and locked up in Beijing. As we hear from 6 City's Marcella Bernardo, they were both taken into custody days after the arrest of Meng Wanzhou at the Vancouver airport.
Family and friends of Michael Kovrig and Michael Spavor
You want of mine, I'm going to hit 2 or 3 of yours.
on their behalf, since they were accused of endangering China's national security. Ambassador Zhang Peiwu denies their rights are being violated.
For consular visits, we are just carrying out exactly what has been agreed upon by our two sides. And for other rights, legitimate rights, they are also guaranteed.
The ambassador, who's only been in Canada about 2 months, has renewed demands to halt the extradition of the Huawei executive accused of violating U.S. sanctions against Iran. Unlike the two Michaels, Meng Wanzhou has been living under house arrest at her Vancouver mansion. I'm Marcella Bernardo.
This portion of the news is brought to you by the Herzig Eye Institute. The holiday season can be a boom for charity, but it also comes with a potential downside, alienating customers who are tired of being asked to tag an extra buck or two onto their bills all the time. 6 City's Casey Taylor reports.
Some people call it the checkout holdup. Okay, and would you like to add a $1 donation to help hungry kids around the world?
Oh, no, that's okay.
Sorry?
I'm good.
I'm sorry, you don't want to give the $1 to hungry kids?
Managing Director of Charity Intelligence Canada, Kate Bain, says they hear customers' frustration all the time, but says it's okay to say no, especially when the charity is nameless.
It's just some worthy cause. And I think Canadians are much more informed and they're looking for more information. And it's
We have cell phones. We'll text the money,
but we're not
motherfucker.
just going to throw loonies and toonies away.
She says all that does add up, and saying not today is not the same as... I'm Casey Taylor.
680 News Time, 7:06. This Christmas season, you don't need a cape to be a hero. 680 News has partnered with the York Regional Police for its 23rd annual Holiday Heroes Toy Drive. 680's Cam Dorrit has more from you, Market.
York Regional Police are normally hauling off the bad guys to jail, but right now they're hauling bags and bags of toys as the donations from families across the GTA keep rolling in here at Upper Canada Mall. Kerry Rutledge is the special events coordinator for YRP and says the donations are crucial this time of year.
This is such a great community initiative. As I said, this is our 23rd year doing this, and each year we have more families that are in need, unfortunately, and each year since our campaign grows, we are able to help more families.
One mom was there, got her sons to pick out toys themselves, and then drop them off.
Just teaching the kids that we're fortunate, we're very lucky, and we want to be able to share that with other kids who maybe aren't necessarily as fortunate as we are during the holiday season.
Now, if you can't to donate and still want to contribute, you can actually head to our website. Just go to 680news.com/holidayheroes. At Upper Canada Mall, I'm Cam Dorrit.
680 News Time at 7:08. It's a case of kindness on wheels. Volunteers with a Muslim community are operating a shelter bus this winter, giving Toronto's vulnerable a place to stay warm at night. 680's Kevin Meisner has the story.
In its previous life, this shelter bus served transit riders and then junior hockey players. Now it gives the homeless a place to come in from the cold, grab a hot meal, even sleep. Zubar Afzal is the president of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Association.
We decided why not we leverage our youth to engage them into something good and perhaps
perhaps we can come downtown every night to help the needy and those in poverty.
On board the bus, Naeem Farouki shows me the bunks that fold down into a table.
So what you're looking at is actually the dinette mode, and with a TV screen so they can warm up here, watch some TV if they don't want to sleep, and have a hot meal.
Toronto Public Health estimates close to 100 homeless people die of exposure on Toronto streets each year. At Queen and Bay, Kevin Meisner.
They used to say there was none.
It's the weekend.
They used to swear nobody ever freezes to death.
Closed, and today is no exception. There's no subway service on the Yonge portion of Line 1 between Shepherd Yonge and St. Clair stations. It's for work on the new signaling system. Shuttle buses and wheel transit services are running through the affected areas to accommodate the closure. Regular service will be up and running Monday morning.
Still to come on 6 City News, we'll tell you where gas is headed at midnight and head to the traffic center with Greg Gear. 6 City News time, 7:09.
Why did I wait so long? Our patients tell us that all the time at the Herzig Eye Institute. I'm Cherry Tab, co-founder of the Herzig Eye Institute. And Dr. Herzig and I want to ask you, why have you waited so long? You could finally be free from glasses, contacts, even reading glasses. Google high definition vision. Learn about Herzig. Call us for a consultation. There's no charge. Afterwards, you'll say, why did I wait so long? Look after yourself. Promise me.
Now the 6 City News gas price update. And Pro predicts the price will rise 2 cents at midnight to $1.15, 0.9 cents a liter at most GTA stations. 6 City News time, 7:10.
Holiday excitement starts at Best Buy with hot savings on the best tech gifts. This week, save 50% on JBL Truly wireless headphones, only $99.99. Get exciting gifts for everyone on your list at Best Buy.
I don't need to tell you about the obstacles on your way to finding a mortgage. Maybe you're a first-time home buyer, self-employed, or uncommissioned. Remember the name Duga. Jaspreet Duga and his team have options. If you're a first-time buyer, self-employed, or uncommissioned, Jaspreet Duga works for you, not the lenders. So you get the best terms and rates. Get started today at dugamortgages.ca. That's DHUGGA mortgages.ca. And tear down those obstacles. License 12880.
Holiday excitement starts at Best Buy with hot savings on the best tech gifts. This week, save 50% on the 6-quart Instant Pot Ultra Pressure Cooker, only $99.99. Get exciting gifts for everyone on your list at Best Buy.
6 City News time, 7:11. Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Greg Gear.
This report is brought to you by Viva Next. So we just have one problem out there that's causing some slowdowns. It's a crash on the southbound 410 ramp to the eastbound 401. The right lane is still blocked here. So it's a little heavy on the southbound 410 itself, of course, as you're joining the eastbound 401, but on the east 401 itself, in the collectors as you go by this problem here, just a touch slow. Eastbound 401, looking at volume approaching Mississauga Road to Mavis, and then, like I mentioned, through the 410 in the collectors, busy 427 east of the Owl and both express and collectors. Westbound 401, volume approaching Kennedy collectors, and then from Victoria Park over to the 404 DVP in the collectors, and then west of Bayview express and collectors all the way over to west of Avenue, and then from the Allen Express Keel collectors all the way over to west of Islington. Northbound DVP volume delays north of John Mills up to north of Lawrence, pretty typical for this time. Southbound 400 busy as you approach the 401 ramps. On to the southbound 404 DVP now. It's busy Finch down to south of Lawrence. Westbound Gardner slow DVP to west of Jameson, on and off again. And the westbound QEW is still a heavy one from Ford Drive to approaching Royal Windsor, and then a touch slow through Guelph Line, but it's really not bad at all. Eastbound QEW through Royal Windsor, and then from southbound to approaching Dixie, a bit of volume. Eastbound onto the Garner, slow Kipling to Royal York, and then we're looking at a delay just east of the Humber Bridge, and then it lasts pretty much over to, it looks like Dufferin, then a bit of a break, and then it starts slowing down east of Spadina over to Cherry, on and off again, heaviest through the construction where you're down to 2 lanes. Southbound 427 busy approaching Dundas onto the Gardner ramp. Eastbound 403 still slow QEW to east of Dundas. It's the season of giving in Vaughan, and your local shops and businesses can help you find what you're looking for. Shop, stop, and dine on Highway 7 West and Bathurst and Centre Streets. Visit vivanext.com. Your next report is at 7:21, and with the forecast, here's Jason Fraser.
We'll see just a few fair weather clouds overnight, but no rain to talk about. Tomorrow, it'll be a much nicer day than it was earlier today. We'll see partly sunny skies and much warmer air. We're talking about a high of +7, and then tomorrow night, we'll we'll see temperatures dip down to the single digits, but we will see some rain showers develop. Tonight, our overnight low is -5.
Right now, downtown Toronto, -1 with a few clouds. Over at Pearson Airport, similar conditions, -2, feeling more like -6. It's back to the drawing board for two guys who tried to rob a bank in Mississauga. The pair came dressed for success with their faces covered, dark clothing and guns, but were foiled by a pair of locked doors. Police say it's possible they fled in a white SUV and that the investigation is ongoing. So to come on 6 City News, a list of your top stories and sports. 6 City News time, 7:14.
There's a reason you look people in the eyes when you shake their hand. A reason you don't like being late for meetings and hate missing deadlines. It's why you put your customers first and pick your partners wisely. Because you know, in business, reputation is everything. Trust your reputation to FedEx for all of your international shipping needs. Express, ground, and freight. Visit FedEx.ca/reason. FedEx, connecting people and possibilities.
One rose from the streets of Paris to become an international star. The other was a German aristocrat who became Hollywood's first glamour queen. Their private lives were as theatrical as their public performances. This new musical biography stars Louise Pitt as Edith Piaf and Jane Lewis as Marlene Dietrich. Piaf Dietrich, now playing at the CAA Theater until January 5th. Tickets at mervish.com.
This is All News Radio, 680 News. It's -1 with a few clouds. Good evening from the 680 News Broadcast Center in downtown Toronto. I'm Tim Chapman. Here are the top stories this hour. High school teachers across the province say they won't go ahead with a walkout so long as the province abandons its plan to increase class sizes and mandatory e-learning. Elementary teachers also at odds with the province as they look to move into phase 2 of their own Work to Rule campaign. A full weekend closure of TTC's Line 1 this weekend means there's no service between Shepherd Young and St. Clair stations. Things are back to normal on Monday. 680 News time, 7:15. Now 680 Sports from Sportsnet 590-10. Here's Colin Vesky.
Tim, we have puck drop in St. Louis. The Maple Leafs taking on the reigning champs, the St. Louis Blues. Jordan Binnington in net for the Blues. Freddie Anderson starting for Toronto. 0-0 early in the first frame. You can watch on Sportsnet. Elsewhere, we've got no score between the Boston Bruins and the Colorado Avalanche. Also 0-0 between the Red Wings and the Penguins. The Lightning up 1-0 early on the Sharks. About 4 minutes gone by in that game. The Panthers have grabbed their lead against the Blue Jackets. They're up 1-0. And the Minnesota Wild also up 1-0 on the Carolina Hurricanes. Two earlier finals from the afternoon. The Flyers got by the Senators 4-3, while overtime was needed between the Canucks and Sabres.
Under a minute to go on the power play. Quinn Hughes. JT Miller shoots and scores.
JT Miller with the game winner. Canucks take it 6-5. And tonight, the Toronto Rock kicking off their season at home against the New England Black Wolves. Into boxing, Anthony Joshua once again the heavyweight champ after beating Andy Ruiz Jr. The Steelhead shutting up the Bulldogs 3-0, and the Marlies got by the San Antonio Rampage 3-2. Sports at 15 and 45 past every hour, or anytime on the home of Tim and Sid on TV and radio. Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
680 News time, 7:17.
You bastards are gonna make me get up again. Fuck you.
Introducing Festival in downtown Vaughan. Live,
What the fuck is downtown Vaughan?
in the new South VMC. Festival. It's a
Why
celebration
do they have transit now?
of Memphis Quadrille community. Register at festivalsouthvmc.com.
Imperial Difference Carpet and Home closeout collections and designs. Up to 80% off. Pay no tax. Art for your floor, from their looms to your rooms. New merchandise every month at unbeatable prices. Shop the one and only Imperial Difference Carpet and Home, the largest rug manufacturer's gallery in the world. Make the trip to save thousands. One location only, 1177 Caledonia Road, west of Dufferin, north of Lawrence. Go to imperialcarpetandhome.com.
680 News time, 7:18. 5 people have died in a house fire northwest of Edmonton. Emergency crews were called about the fire Thursday afternoon in the hamlet of Rodford Bridge near Mayerthorpe. Mounties say 2 adults and 3 children were killed. Resident Michelle Trudzik says the 5 were a family.
It's devastating. Everyone's trying to wrap their head around what happened, why.
Mounties say there's nothing to indicate the
What do
deaths
you mean,
are
why?
criminal.
Why? It doesn't matter.
This is 680 News, All News Radio. Tenants of 235 Gosford Boulevard gathered to demand answers from property management this morning as hundreds still have no place to stay. 680 Jordan Reed is speaking to one resident placed by last month's fatal fire.
Jeffrey, a tenant of 235 Gosford, thought the worst was behind him. He doesn't know where he'll be living in January, all because ROMK management has ceased communication
still want
with
the
some of
rent.
the tenants and denied transition payments. The landlord has provided some temporary housing, but the key word there is some.
It doesn't matter if you have insurance or not. The bottom line here is we are tenants of 235 Gosford, so they should treat all of us the same.
Jeff says the landlord has reached out to him, but only for money.
They put again in their Facebook page, like, by January, we're going to have to pay our rent again.
I'm Jordan Reed.
680 News Time, 719.
They're legally required to house these people. Required. Doesn't matter if they have to pay more than what they collected in rent.
It's a custom that dates back decades. The Kamloops Blazers of the WHL were the first to try it in 1993, and pretty much every junior or minor pro team does some form of it now, some to varying degrees of success, although it'll be hard to beat Hershey.
Here they come! Christian Juice with the goal! It's raining stuffed animals! It's chocolate down!
The Hershey Bears of the American Hockey League did it last weekend. Fans threw well over 45,000 teddy bears and stuffed animals on the ice, obliterating the world record because they keep track of these kind of things. This weekend, it's in Toronto for the Marlies game. All teddy bears thrown on the ice after the Marlies' first goal this afternoon will be donated to Yonge Street Mission. Game time 4
The
o'clock.
fuck are they gonna do with teddy bears? The kids they help are 16 and up.
On the one, 680 News Time, 720.
You're a homeless kid. Have a teddy bear.
It's a beautiful time of year. Stop and
Can I
appreciate
sell it and buy
Where we
food?
are.
The fuck?
Thank you so much to our customers for helping us grow since 1963. Tom Dominic Trimucci, and on behalf of all of us at
They tell you that they give the food away for free. That's true, but they charge money for the plate. They charge money for the plate. They don't tell you that.
You're a small business owner, and there's nothing small about what you do.
How did you
That's why
know?
Dell Small Business Technology Advisors give you trusted advice, one-on-one partnership, and tailored tech solutions. Like computers with Intel Core processors, servers, storage, networking, plus thousands of top-brand electronics, accessories, and software. No matter your technology needs, Dell is here to help your small business do big things. Call 310 Dell to speak with an advisor today. That's 310 Dell.
680 News Time, 721. Time for Drop Your Weather Together on the ones. Here's Craig Gear.
This report is brought to you by Carlton Cards. So no more problems out there anymore. They've all cleared away. Southbound 410 ramp to the eastbound 401. That is cleared away. So all the delays that we were seeing coming off of the 410 onto the eastbound 401, those will start to get much better. So no other problems reported. If you do see one, definitely let me know. Star 680. But most of the major routes, it's just volume now. Eastbound 401, Mississauga Road to Mavis, 410 in the collectors as we wait for these problems to dissipate, or the delays to dissipate after that crash has been cleared away. And then volume delays 427 to east of the Allen, both express and collectors. On the westbound 401, approaching Kennedy in the collectors, a little slow. Victoria Park to the 404 in the collectors as well. West of Bayview, Express and collectors to west of Avenue, and then Allen Express Keel collectors to west of Islington. Northbound DVP volume north of Don Mills up to north of Lawrence. Southbound 400 still busy as you approach the 401 ramps. Southbound 404 DVP still slow, Finch to south of Lawrence. And on the westbound Garner, looks like still with volume right from the DVP to west of Jameson, heaviest through the construction. Eastbound QEW busy, Huron-Ontario to Cawthra seems to be getting busy, but the Garner eastbound still slow, Kipling to Royal York, and then Humber Bridge to Dufferin, and then east to Spadina over to Cherry, on and off again. To friends next door or family overseas, send holiday joy to your loved ones with Carlton Cards. Visit carltoncards.ca to save $6 on 4 cards, available at Loblaws, Superstore, and Fortino's. Your next report is
If I
at
go to the
7:31
damn internet, I
with the
could just send a
forecast. Here's
fucking
Jason Fraser.
e-card.
We'll see partly cloudy skies across the GTA, and tomorrow we'll wake
Get up and
to
look for the credit card.
partly
It's not
sunny
happening.
skies, and it'll be a much nicer day. today, in terms of temperature, we're actually going to see above average temperatures. Our average high this time of year is about 2 degrees, but our high tomorrow is going to be closer to 7. It will also be breezy. We could see some winds gusting up to 50 kilometers per hour. Tomorrow night, we could see some rain develop, but we'll see a low temperature around +5. And for Monday, we'll see some rain develop. We could even see a few flurries by the afternoon time, high of +8. And the flurries stick around for Tuesday, even though some of us do think we'll end up seeing some peaks of sun. High then of only -2 degrees. Our overnight low tonight is -5.
Right now, downtown Toronto, -1 with a few clouds over at Pearson Airport. Similar conditions, and -2. Remember, 6 City News is the only radio station with a weather guarantee. Today's jackpot stands at $8,500. Coming up at the bottom of the hour, the latest on ongoing negotiations between public teachers and the province. 6 City News time, 7:24.
2 weeks and 800 websites later, I finally found it. The perfect holiday gift for our daughter.
Really?
Yep, toe socks.
Toe socks?
Yeah, socks with toes. Every toe's a different color.
Bob, did you check We.org?
We what?
We.org. They have so many gifts. You can give a donation, buy chocolate, beautiful jewelry, and they all change lives.
Oh, I missed the site?
Leave the gifts to me.
Oh, okay.
This holiday, gift good. Shop, donate at we.org.
You've heard the saying, like a kid at Christmas.
That's how excited we are at 98.1 CHFI.
We can't wait for Christmas. Literally. So we're playing all Christmas music.
Yeah, it's every day. Christmas is the best time of year, and we love to bring it to you. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock.
Happy holidays. Toronto's Christmas music station is 98.1 CHFI.
If you haven't taken the time to visit Lando Lighting recently and you're looking to freshen up your home, then wait no longer. New lighting can make all the difference in your home. Designers know it's the key ingredient to making a room stand apart from the rest. So isn't it time you visit the lighting specialists at Lando Lighting? With a massive selection of lighting and the best prices, there's no reason to go anywhere else. And right now, enjoy savings of up to 60%. Everything looks better with Lando Lighting. 210 Clarence Street, Brampton.
Look at my perfect parking job. Equidistant left and right, wheels straight as an arrow. I should post it. Hashtag perfect park.
Or hashtag enhanced park assist.
Or hashtag shh.
Get the SUV built with features that help make your life easier. The Ford Escape with available enhanced active park assist. And now during the Ford year-end event, get up to $6,000 in rebates on select new 2019 Escape models. Get the SUV built to get you out there. Visit your local Ford store or Ford.ca.
It's time for all Christmas news at 25 minutes past the hour. It's the official start of Fair in the Square today. Nathan Phillips Square comes alive for an inclusive holiday experience from now until the 23rd of December. Melanie's the marketing director for the event and says it's all for a good cause.
And it's an event that's in support of Epilepsy Toronto. And we come together to put on this pretty massive fair right in the heart of Toronto that involves carnival rides, games. We have over 88 vendors this year.
There's also an outdoor bar with an inflatable igloo and fireside lounge to warm up by.
Christmas news at 25 minutes past every hour on 680 News.
680 News on 726. Now the 680 News Weekend Business Report.
I'm Carl Garnash. Virtual reality's footprint is continuing to grow in Canada, and one company is putting the focus on education. Another Reality, a new VR gaming and education center, is coming to Toronto soon, but ahead of that, the founders are already active in communities, working with Canadian colleges and nonprofit agencies to develop programs that utilize the interactive technology. Paul Rock, co-founder and chief marketing officer of Another Reality, says VR can benefit all Canadians.
Parents nowadays, one of the biggest concerns they have is that their kids spend too much time on the computer or the internet or social media.
You're gonna fix that with
and
virtual reality.
Like STEM programs, they're trying to make education fun. Kids don't really want to do that. They'd rather play video games. And we see with virtual reality, there's a real appeal to do something that is productive. It's not a thing that's about age any more than the phone or computer are for millennials.
As people make assumptions about what and who benefits from using tools including virtual reality and video games, Rock adds that we need more education on video games in order to address the stigma that they're just for entertainment.
Video games are also for the gamification of everything from even game development, studying, or even the workforce. It's informative, but it sticks.
And as a number of companies work to make virtual reality stick here in Canada, Rock says there are ways it can thrive.
For VR to become more mainstream and to grow, it needs to focus on making things that are more simple to pick up and more about repetitive play. Companies are spending a lot of money trying to make games to have better graphics or more interactive, but it doesn't necessarily mean that people are going to come back over and over again. And that's what we
want
really
repetitive gameplay.
Paul Rock is the co-founder and chief marketing officer of Another Reality. At the Business Center, I'm Carl Garnish.
Rexall can help make holidays rewarding. Okay, perfume, makeup, gift sets. Now, the fun part. Choosing a $15 Rexall gift coupon or 100 bonus air miles for spending $50 or more.
That's the tricky part. Stuff my stocking with the coupon or use the air miles on my big present.
The tricky part is finding a way to let you down easy. This Friday to Sunday, choose either a $15 Rexall gift coupon or 100 bonus air miles when you spend $50 or more. Visit Rexall.ca for details.
At Rogers, a new year means new possibilities for your business. When you choose business-grade internet solutions, keep your internet constantly connected with our wireless LTE backup network. And for a limited time, get Rogers Business Internet Pro Gigabit plus Office 365 for just $119.99 a month on a 3-year term. Don't miss out. Call 1-866-ROGERS-6 or visit rogers.com/internet for biz. Rogers, make more for your business possible.
You can make more.
It's time for the 680 News Business Travelers Forecast brought to you by Enercare. Call the HVAC Whisperers at Enercare today and get $40 off a furnace repair call. Enercare. No one understands your heating and cooling system better. Terms and conditions apply.
In New York City, mostly cloudy and 5. Boston, 2 degrees. Right now, downtown, -1 with a few clouds. 680 News Time, 7:30.
Number 1 for news in Toronto. This is 680 News.
Good evening. This is Saturday, December the 7th. I'm Eden Devella.
And I'm Tim Chapman. Here's what's making news this hour.
3 people are in hospital with life-threatening injuries after a shooting in the city's West End.
Work to rule action. A 1-day strike on the table for Ontario public school teachers next week.
3 people shot. It's not on the fucking internet.
Continue to go south.
Toronto police are investigating a 3-vehicle crash in Scarborough.
No.
You get hit by it every holiday season. Check out Charity.
Sort of hold up at the checkout.
But experts say customers need to remember it's okay to say no. Both the Maple Leafs and Blues wasting no time getting on the board in the first period. And Dan Dawson has given the Toronto Rock the lead in their home opener against New England. Sports at 45. And coming up in business, can you ride a stationary bike backward? We examine Peloton's rough ride following a controversial ad.
News Time, 7:31.
Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Greg here.
This report is brought to you by Barty's Steakhouse. No issues out there, just some volume delays causing issues. Eastbound 401, a little slow east of Mississauga Road over to Mavis. Everything seems to be improving though. Volume delays eastbound 401 east of the 427, east of the Allen Express and Collectors. A little bit slow as you approach Leslie in the Collectors, and then again east of Warden to east of Kennedy in the Collectors. Westbound 401, it's busy from Victoria Park onto the 404 DVP ramps. Doesn't matter if you're in the Express or Collectors or going north or south, it's heavy on the ramps. And then again, as you approach Yonge into Collectors, Allen Express over to approaching Dixon on and off. That's our longest stretch here and our busiest one. Northbound DVP slow, approaching Eglinton to north of Lawrence. Southbound 404 DVP busy from Shepherd down to south of Lawrence. Onto the westbound Garden volume, DVP to west of Jameson. Eastbound QBW busy here, Ontario to Cawthra. East Gardner still slow, Kipling to Royal York. Humber Bridge to Dufferin, and then east to Spadina over to Cherry. When's the last time you had a Barty's steak? Celebrating over 50 years, Barty's Steakhouse, where the smart money on Bay Street still does steak. Reserve at bardys.com. Your next report is at 7:41, and with the forecast, here's Jason Fraser.
We'll see a few clouds across the GTA, but no rain for tonight. We'll see the temperature dip down by another couple of degrees. Our overnight low tonight is -5.
Right now, downtown Toronto, -1 with a few clouds. Over at Pearson Airport, similar conditions, and -2. 680 News Time, 7:33.
It's just into 680 News. 3 people are fighting for their lives in hospital after a shooting near Weston and Finch. Police are on scene investigating, so expect some road closures in the area.
We still don't have any suspect information at this time. Stay with 680 News for more on this developing story.
This is 680 News. At a council meeting today, Unifor led a discussion about contract negotiations with the province. Union leaders continue to stand in solidarity for job action by Ontario elementary and high school teachers. Our 680's Brittany Dooley joins us with what they have to say at the Sheridan Centre. The union representing high school teachers says a statement this morning comes from a desire to reach a reasonable agreement. They are ready to accept the province's proposal if the government agrees to 3 key issues about plans to increase class sizes, mandatory e-learning, and room for bargaining on pay increases. Harvey Bishop, the president of OSSTF, continuing to criticize the government, saying there is nothing reasonable about the proposal.
If you're the minister, you cannot claim you are laser focused on keeping kids in class. You cannot claim you're making historic investments in education and then turn around and say, but unless you swallow these unilateral cuts that happened before we've concluded a round of bargaining, we're not going to come back and meet you at the table. That's not good faith bargaining.
ETFO will walk out in 4 days if no agreement is reached by then. I'm Brittany Dooley.
Meantime, several unions stood in solidarity with the Elementary Teachers Federation of Ontario at Unifor's Regional Council meeting today. 680's James Mackin has the details.
On Tuesday, December 10th, Phase 2 of the ETFO's Work to Roll campaign starts. Nearly 78,000 teachers will withdraw several of their services, including no planning of field trips for the first half of 2020 and no collective money for school-based activities. When asked about his opinion of the negotiations, Unifor National President Jerry Diaz had this to say.
The lack of consultation and, frankly, the lack of ethics, I will argue. It's the fact that they take people as fools.
Negotiations will continue between the elementary teachers and province on Monday. I'm James Mackin.
680 News Time, 7:35. 2 Canadian men are still locked up in China a year after they were detained in what's believed to be a retaliation for the arrest of a Huawei executive in Vancouver. 680's Marcella Bernardo reports there's little hope they will be allowed to come home before Christmas.
Since December 10th, Michael Koberg's family and colleagues have been begging for his safe return, but the Northeast Asia advisor for the International Crisis Group remains imprisoned in Beijing, along with businessman Michael Spavor. China's ambassador to Canada, Zhang Peiwu, denies they're pawns in a diplomatic dispute involving U.S. government plans to prosecute Meng Wanzhou.
The Chinese competent authorities have arrested 2 Michaels because they are suspected of endangering China's national security.
He continues to insist Meng's human rights have been violated and she should immediately be allowed to go home. The woman accused of defying sanctions against Iran is currently out on bail and living in a Vancouver mansion. I'm Marcella Bernardo.
680 News Time, 7:36. Transit riders are dealing with the final full weekend subway closure of 2019. There's no service on the young portion of Line 1 from St. Clair to Shepherd stations, and while there will be a brief break for the rest of the month, prepare for more closures than ever next year. 680's Alex Bloomfield has more on the TTC's 2020 closure plan set to be approved by the TTC board on Thursday.
They are the thorn in the side of every transit rider in this city. Get ready for a jam-packed 2020 lineup. 34 full weekend closures, 18 single-day shutdowns, 8 late Sunday openings, and about 28 weeks worth of early weeknight closures. It's an increase of about 18 closure days over this year, but even more when you consider 11 of this year's weekend closures were canceled due to labor disputes and special event conflicts. The vast majority of the full-day shutdowns continue to be the result of crosstown LRT construction at Eglinton Station and the installation of a new automatic signaling system on Line 1. More than 80% of the 2020 service suspensions will impact the Yonge University line. There is some hope. The TTC is projecting the number of required closures will drop slightly in 2021 and 2022. I'm Alex Bloomfield.
680 News Time, 7:37. Holiday shoppers are channeling their inner Santas and giving back to families less fortunate. 680 News is partnering with York Regional Police for the Force's 23rd Annual Holiday Heroes Toy Drive, and it's happening at a bustling Upper Canada Mall. 680's Cam Dort reports.
The holidays can be tough on some families, and that's why York Regional Police run their annual Holiday Heroes Toy Drive. Carrie Rutledge is the special events coordinator for YRP and says all donations go directly to the communities they receive them in and help out everyone during the holidays.
We have a food drive going on in Georgina as well as in Markham, and we do have events stretching over the next couple of weekends. So although our campaign officially wraps on the 13th, we do have a couple of events following that.
I caught up with the mother of 2 boys dropping off some toys they picked out themselves. Mom says they saved up the money in their piggy banks.
We come every year to support the YRP toy drive. My husband is part of the YRP, and it's a cause near and dear to us that I want the boys to understand and be a part of.
If you want to contribute and can't make it out, don't worry. Just head to our website at 680news.com/holidayheroes. At Upper Canada Mall, I'm Ken Dorrit. 680 News Time, 7:38. We've all experienced it. You're in a store, you get to the checkout, and then you're asked to donate a buck or two to charity. With the holiday season in full swing, 680's Casey Taylor joins us with more on Checkout Charity.
It can be one of the most annoying parts of holiday shopping. Kate Bain is the managing director of Charity Intelligence Canada and says they hear that frustration every year.
It's incredible how many people call in and front of mind, top of mind, they want to talk about how annoying they find what they call the sort of hold up at the checkout.
So there you are in line and you get the question. Now you're put on the spot with other customers silently judging you. Bain says it's important to remember many of them feel the same way.
You're absolutely right. I mean, and it's sort of about giving yourself permission to say no. No, thank you. No, thank you. I care about my giving. I like to know where my money is going.
She says Canadians are well-informed people and we want to know where our money is going and how it's being spent. I'm Casey Taylor.
Still to come on 680 News, traffic and weather together on the ones. 680 News Time, 7:39.
Right now at Rogers, you can unwrap more. Like buy one, get one when you activate 2 lines with the Samsung Galaxy S10 and S10e on select 2-year plans. That means more for you and them with our greatest BOGO yet. More perfect holiday photos with Samsung's Pro-Grade multi-camera. And infinite data you can share when you get them both on a Rogers Infinite plan. Get twice the nice with Samsung BOGO during the Wrapping Red event on now at Rogers.
Now the 680 News gas price update. Empro predicts the price of gas will rise 2 cents at midnight to $1.15.9 a liter at most GTA stations. 680 News Time, 7:40.
Giving someone a CAA gift membership for the holidays is kind of like saying,
Happy battery boost for when your car doesn't start.
wishing you peace, joy, and lots of restaurant savings.
Merry quick help with that flat tire.
Say happy holidays with a CAA gift membership and get peace of mind with 24/7 roadside assistance across North America, plus great savings on shopping, dining, and more. Buy a gift membership by January 5th and get a $10 gift card. Details at CAAgift.com. CAA, making bad days good and good days better.
'Tis the season of doing and seeing and frosting, and highliner knows all that is exhausting. So dinner is covered, and it's a crowd pleaser. All you have to do is take it out of the freezer. We've got delicious, flaky cod that everyone craves, heavenly haddock but no pumpkin upstage, and a captain that keeps getting better with age. Finally, something that won't cause any stress. Satisfying seafood in 20 minutes or less.
Celebrating 120 years of Highliner seafood. Catch us in the frozen aisle.
680 News Time, 7:41. Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Craig Gear.
This report is brought to you by Global Story Network, and we're looking at volume on the eastbound 401 east of the 427, approaching Weston Express and Collectors, approaching Keele in the Collectors, and then again approaching Leslie in the Collectors, and again east of Warden in the Collectors. Westbound 401, still busy from Victoria Park onto the 404 DVP ramps, approaching Avenue in the Express, and then heaviest west of the 400 Express and Collectors over to about approaching Dixon. Northbound DVP still slow approaching Eglinton to north of Lawrence. Southbound 404 busy now approaching Shepherd down to south of Lawrence. Onto the westbound Garner still slow from the DVP through the construction to west of Jameson, on and off again. And eastbound Garner is looking a lot better, but we are seeing a jam up as you come off the 427. Southbound 427 busy in the Express from Dundas onto the Gardner ramp. Could have a problem here. I haven't been able to spot it just yet, but we are jammed up here for no real reason. And then it's busy on the eastbound Garner from approaching the Humber Bridge all the way over to, it looks like approaching Dufferin, and then it starts getting jammed up again, especially through that construction. We look like we're backed up from Spadina or just east of it, and then as you make your way through the construction. What single piece of evidence could prove the innocence of a man on death row for 20 years? Find out in the podcast, Surviving the Impossible. Visit globalstorynetwork.com. Your next report is at 7:51, and with the forecast, here's Jason Fraser.
We'll see a few clouds develop overnight, but the good news is we're not going to see any
We're
rain
gonna see any
showers.
clouds. Night
Now,
out, buddy.
tomorrow we'll see partly sunny skies, and it's going to be much warmer tomorrow than it was today. We'll see a high temperature of 7 degrees. Winds could possibly gust up to 50 kilometers per hour. Tomorrow night we could see some rain develop as the low temperature dips down to +5. Tonight, our overnight low is -5.
Right now in downtown Toronto, clear skies, -1 degree, but feeling more like -6 with the wind chill. And at Pearson Airport, a few clouds and -2. Still to come on 680 News, new details are now being released on the person behind Thursday's Pearl Harbor shooting. 680 News Time, 7:43.
The world's most unmistakable voice. Josh Groban, live February 11th and 12th at Niagara Falls View Casino. Josh Groban selling out arenas across the globe. Visit FallsViewCasinoResort.com for tickets. Josh Groban, live February 11th and 12th at Niagara Falls View Casino.
First, your disability insurer denies your long-term disability claim, and then your employer threatens to fire you if you don't return to work. Sound familiar? My name is Aaron Waxman, and if your disability insurer denies your disability claim for any reason, or if your employer threatens to fire you because you're too sick to work, call me at 416-661-4878. And don't worry about upfront legal fees, because there are none. At my law firm, we only get paid when you get paid. And before you call, you should always remember that there are no bad questions. 416-661-4878, or on your cell phone at pound LTD.
This is All News Radio, 680 News.
Clear and -1 in downtown Toronto. Good evening. From the 680 News Broadcast Center, I'm Eden Devaba, and here are the top stories this hour. 3 people are in hospital with life-threatening injuries after a shooting near Weston and Finch. Police are on scene investigating, and there's no suspect information at this time. And Ontario secondary school teachers continue their deliberations in the province just 4 days before another one-day strike. Talks are still tense, with Education Minister Stephen Lecce saying that strike action will only hurt children, while OSSTF President Harvey Bischoff says they're willing to postpone Wednesday's strike if an agreement can be met. And coming up after sports, even a petition 66,000 signatures strong couldn't save a beloved Canadian Netflix show. 680 News Time, 7:45. Now 680 Sports from Sportsnet 590 The Fan. Good evening, Colin Teskey.
Good evening, Eden. The Maple Leafs facing the reigning champs in St. Louis, and Zach Hyman opened the scoring for Toronto, but Ivan Barbashev tied it 1 minute and 35 seconds later. Then William Nylander and Austin Matthews combining on this goal.
The line, here comes William Nylander to Matthews. He shoots, he scores!
Matthews of goal number 17 on the year, then on the ensuing St. Louis power play.
Here's a steal. Inbox, short-handed with Hyman, who scores!
Hyman with 2 in the first. Jason Spezza also adding a power play goal. That would prompt the Blues to pull Jordan Binnington, Jake Allen now in the net. The Maple Leafs leading 4-1 in the first in St. Louis. Happening now is the Toronto Rock opening up the season against the New England Black Wolves. They are trailing 4-2. The Steelheads topped the Bulldogs 3-0 in OHL action, while the Marlies picked up a 3-2 win over the Rampage. Sports at 15 and 45 past every hour, or anytime on the home of Tim and Sid on TV and radio. Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
680 News Time, 7:46.
There's a reason you look people in the eyes when you shake their hand. A reason you don't like being late for meetings and hate missing deadlines. It's why you put your customers first and pick your partners wisely. Because you know, in business, reputation is everything. Trust your reputation to FedEx for all of your international shipping needs. Express, ground, and freight. Visit FedEx.ca/reason. FedEx, connecting people and possibilities.
Holiday gift giving is easy with Peter and Paul's Gifts. They have this season's trendiest gifts for your clients, colleagues, family, and friends. From foodies to fashionistas, and whether you're buying for 1 or 100, Peter and Paul's Gifts can create something everyone will love. With gourmet foods, cheerful baskets, and more. Shop the holiday collection at peterandpaulsgifts.com or visit their gift shop at 6260 Highway 7 in Vaughan. Gift stylishly this year with Peter and St. Paul's gifts.
You're listening to All News Radio 680 News. A U.S. federal investigator says the Saudi student who fatally shot 3 people dead at the Florida Naval Base hosted a dinner party earlier in the week to watch videos of mass shootings. The source adds that another student was recording outside of the building while the shooting took place. 10 students are now being held at the base, and that several others are still unaccounted for. 78 years ago today, Japanese warplanes attacked the U.S. naval base at Pearl Harbor, Hawaii, bringing America into World War II. Ceremonies drew a large crowd at Pearl Harbor today for the event.
At 7:55 a.m. Hawaii time, the same time the Japanese attack began at Pearl Harbor.
Please bow your heads as we observe a moment of silence to honor the events that occurred at this moment 78 years ago today.
Then the national anthem, the Hawaiian state song, and a Hawaiian spiritual ceremony, which includes the blowing of a conch shell. Among more than 2,000 people at the ceremony, about 30 World War II veterans, including a dozen frail survivors of the attack, which killed more than 2,300 U.S. service members. The youngest are in their late 90s. Chuck Siebertson, ABC News.
680 News Time, 7:48. The creator and executive producer for the Canadian show Anne with an E is telling fans today that a revival of the show is not to be. A fan petition calling on Netflix to renew the show, inspired by Lucy Maud Montgomery's classic novel Anne of Green Gables, didn't work. It did gain over 66,000 signatures, but executive producer Miranda DePensier says on Instagram that there is just no way to revive Anne with an E anywhere. Anne with an E was a co-production between CBC and Netflix, which will run the 3rd and final series next month. Tonight is opening night for the 6th time. NHL champion Toronto Rock at Scotiabank Arena. Simon Bennett has a preview.
They're back. Schreiber, scores! Schreiber with 0.9 seconds left. The Toronto Rock opened their season against the New England Black Wolves tonight. They were 8-1 at home last year, and the vibe of the building is always fun. Rock assistant captain Brad Creed was on BT this week.
You know, we feel their energy and their excitement out there, and we hope to have them back this year.
Big TV news this year. Rogers has picked up all their home games. Ignite Channel 430 or Digital 368. The crew featuring Sportsnet's Andy McNamara and Ashley Docking. Here's Andy on the Rock's high goals for this year.
If they stay healthy, there is no reason that the Toronto Rock cannot legitimately be considered championship contenders.
Game time tonight, 7 o'clock. I'm Simon Bennett.
Coming up in just 60 seconds, traffic and weather together on the ones. 680 News Time, 7:50.
At Rogers, get business-grade internet solutions like Rogers Business Internet Pro Gigabit plus Office 365. Now just $119.99 a month on a 3-year term. Visit rogers.com/internet for biz.
You can make
Catch all the excitement of your favorite slots and table games at Casino Woodbine. Sign up for a free One Rewards membership today, and you could be eligible to get your first $250 on us. Need a lift? We've added new Toronto shuttle bus routes that will take you right to all the front doors. Must be rewards membership required. If you gamble, play smart. Casino Woodbine, Toronto's home for gaming and entertainment.
At Rogers, get business-grade internet solutions like Rogers Business Internet Pro Gigabit plus Office 365. Now just $119.99 a month on a 3-year term. Visit rogers.com/internet for biz.
You can make 680 News Time, 7:51. Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Craig Gear.
This report is brought to you by...
This extended forecast is brought to you by Walmart. Who's calling the shots?
We will get to that forecast momentarily, but first, some traffic updates for you. Just off the phone with the MTO, as part of a police investigation, the southbound 400 will be closed from Highway 7 to Finch for a police investigation. So all traffic on the southbound 400 is currently getting ready to be forced off or cut off from Highway 7 down to Finch. This is for a police investigation. This report is brought to you by the Grand Hotel. So we are just looking at volume across the major routes. Eastbound 401 busy from east of the 427 to approaching Weston, Express and Collectors. Slow approaching Keele, east of Leslie, and east of Warden in the Collectors. Westbound 401 busy on those 404 DVP ramps anywhere west of Victoria Park, both Express and Collectors onto the 404 DVP, and then a little bit of a delay as you approach Avenue in the Express, and then again west of the 400 Express and Collectors to approaching Dixon. But the east and west 401 is starting to be in really good shape traffic now. Northbound DVP still slow, approaching Eglinton to north of Lawrence, and then southbound 404 DVP is busy again, Shepherd to south of Lawrence. On the westbound Gardner's busy from the DVP, definitely through the construction there, and then it jams up again or slows up west to Spadina to Jameson, on and off again. Eastbound Gardner, east of the 427, we have the right shoulder and a bit of the right lane blocked off here. Looks like it could be a stalled vehicle, so that's causing backups from the southbound 427 from Dundas in the Express, and then busy east of Park Lawn over to Dufferin, east of Spadina to Cherry. And like I was saying, southbound 427 slow because of this problem on the eastbound Gardner from Dundas in the Express right onto the Gardner ramp. Book your next meeting, event, or stay at the luxurious Grand Hotel Toronto and receive Aeroplan miles. Visit grandhoteltoronto.com because life is grand. Your next report is at 8:01, and with the forecast, here's Jason Fraser.
This evening, some of you will see some clouds, but no rain to talk about. Tomorrow, we'll see partly sunny skies. And I think overall, it'll be a much nicer day across the GTA as we'll see a high temperature near +7 degrees. That is about 5 degrees warmer than where we should be around this time of year. Tomorrow night, we'll see cloudy skies and some rain showers are possible, low of +5. And then for Monday, the rain sticks around, and we could even see a little bit of some mixing going on. Talking about some flurries are possible by the latter half of the afternoon. We'll see a high temperature of +8, and for Tuesday, the flurries are possible once again, as we'll see a high temperature around -2 degrees. Our overnight low tonight is -5.
Right now in downtown Toronto, clear skies, -1 degree, but feeling more like -6 with the wind chill. And over at Pearson Airport, a few clouds and -2.
This extended forecast is brought to you by Walmart. Who's calling the shop this flu season? You are. Help protect your family with a flu shot from your local Walmart pharmacy. Subject to availability. No appointment necessary. Walmart Pharmacy, partnered with Apotex.
Coming up at 8 o'clock, the latest on a shooting on the 400 near Weston and Finch that has sent 3 people to hospital with life-threatening injuries. 680 News Time, 7:54.
Being an entrepreneur means finding partners who align with my business vision and my values. And with the help of BDC, I've succeeded in building a solid company that I can really be proud of. At BDC, being the only bank exclusively devoted to entrepreneurs means fully understanding our client's vision. So when we help you build your business, it's a business we can both be proud of.
Go further with BDC. BDC, financing, advising, smarts.
Traffic is always changing. Now more than ever.
Listen 3, 4, 5 times a day.
This is 680 News.
Ask for us on your smart speaker.
You're listening to All News Radio 680 News. Coming up in just 60 seconds, our weekend business report. 680 News Time, 7:55.
Fever burns like hot tamales, fa la 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 la. Cold and flu season's not so jolly, fa la 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 blah. Don't let cold and flu season give you the holiday blues. Get your flu shot to help protect yourself against getting the flu. If you do get sick, use Benylin and Tylenol products to relieve your worst
If I do get sick, you just told me the
symptoms,
shot would
fever
save
or
me.
cough. So now, nothing else will mingle with your holiday jingle. Available at Shoppers Drug Mart. To be sure these products are right for you, always read and follow the label.
Right now at Rogers, you can unwrap more. Like buy one, get one when you activate 2 lines with the Samsung Galaxy S10 and S10e on select 2-year plans. That means more for you and them with our greatest BOGO yet. More perfect holiday photos with Samsung's Pro-Grade multi-camera and infinite data you can share when you get them both on a Rogers Infinite plan. Get twice the nice with Samsung BOGO during the Wrap and Red event on now at Rogers.
680 News Time, 7:56. Now time for the 680 News Weekend Business Report.
I'm Martin McMahon. It's been a bumpy ride for Peloton, the maker of stationary bikes, which allow you to compete with other riders from around the world. Its stock saw double-digit losses on a single day after it released an ad largely slammed as sexist, in which a slim woman is gifted one of the pricey exercise bikes by her husband on Christmas morning. To discuss the perils of advertising in the social media age, I'm speaking with Rebecca Coleman, a marketing instructor at BCIT. Rebecca, what do you make of the online outrage?
What's really missing in the ad is context. It's like, you know, she comes down the stairs on Christmas morning and her husband has given her this exercise bike and she's like, oh, it changed my life. And there's just, it feels to me like there's a lot of context missing in the ad. You know, was that a present that she actually would have wanted for Christmas? also, I think the other thing that people are a bit up in arms about is she doesn't look like someone who, for example, needs to quote unquote lose weight. And I totally get that not everybody is in that space. You can have a low BMI and you can still be not healthy and need to get more healthy and build muscle and cardiovascular strength and all that kind of thing. But the whole thing just comes off as feeling sexist and kind of like we just threw women back to the 1960s.
What do you make of the company's response?
Something like damage control, I think, would be really important for them to launch into at some point.
Does this speak to a need for companies to do more preparation behind the scenes?
My question would be, who approved the ad? What kind of focus groups did they show it to before they launched it? Like that kind of thing. Like, did nobody say, oh, I don't know, this might come off as being a bit sexist before they launched it?
That's Rebecca Coleman, a BCIT marketing instructor. In the Business Center, I'm Martin McMahon.
Black Friday 101 from Sleep Country. The best way to make your Black Friday.
Hold on, it's December. Are people even still doing Black Friday deals?
Well, Sleep Country is.
I knew that. Carry on.
It's your last chance to save at Sleep Country's Black Friday sale. Plus, get amazing prices on all things sleep, like duvets, pillows, and sheets. And get a Hot Buy Queen mattress that helps regulate temperature for just $349. Shop online or in store. But hurry, it all ends Tuesday. Sleep Country, all for sleep.
Hello, Alpine Credits.
You're the guys that say approved, right?
Yes, sir.
I want to lose weight, so I told my buddies I'm going to switch from beer to white wine, and they did not approve. You will?
We only approve homeowners for loans, for renovations, consolidating debt, that type of thing.
Perchance rosé.
Oh, listen to your buddies, my friend.
At Alpine Credits, we try to approve all home equity loan applications, regardless of your credit, age, or income. Find out more at alpinecredits.ca. Alpine Credits. Homeowners get approved. Fiscal license 12616.
Now, 680 News regional weather conditions for Walmart.
With Walmart's guaranteed unbeatable low prices, save $2.90 on 1 pound of Natrel butter. Now only $2.74. Walmart. Save money, live better.
In Brampton, partly cloudy, -5 degrees. Hamilton, clear and -2. Right now in downtown Toronto, clear and -1. 680 News Time, 8 o'clock.
Number one for breaking news, traffic, and weather. This is 680 News, Toronto.
Good evening. This is Saturday, December the 7th. I'm Tim Chapman.
And I'm Eden Skaba. Here's what's making news this hour.
A highway shooting in North York sends 3 people to hospital with life-threatening injuries.
Public school teachers continue to place pressure on the province amidst contract negotiations and opposition to funding cuts.
'Tis the season for Checkout Charity.
And many people feel that they give, but they're giving out of guilt.
But experts say you don't need to say yes to taking an extra buck onto the bill. Kindness on wheels.
If we can serve, the doors of the bus will be open.
The Ahmadiyya Muslim community is using a former transit bus as a rolling shelter for the homeless of Toronto.
A stunning first period for the Maple Leafs against the reigning champs in St. Louis, and the Toronto Rock trailing in their home opener against New England. Sports at 15.
And coming up in business, a new survey shows employees would like to be rewarded around the holidays, and there are several options that employers have in order to boost morale.
680 News Time, 8:01.
Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Craig Gear.
This report is brought to you by Viva Next. MTO is confirming to me that the southbound 400 is in the process of being shut down from Highway 7 to Finch. I'm looking at it right now, though, and I'm seeing traffic traveling as if nothing is wrong, but there will be something wrong soon. And so quite a few ramps and quite a stretch to shut down, so it's just being coordinated now. This is for a police investigation. So as of right now, I'm seeing traffic traveling on it. But if you want to jump the gun here and get off, everything looks fine. Jane and Weston are great alternates right now, but as long as the ramps are open and you're coming up to them, I'd say take it. You should be fine until they actually do shut it down, but just a heads up that they will be closing it from Highway 7 down to Finch. Southbound 400, this is for a police investigation, but everything's so far so good right now. Eastbound on the Gardner, we had a problem. It was east of the 427. The right lane was blocked here with a stalled vehicle. Everything's gone now, so we're looking at the delays easing as well. We were back backed up from approaching Dundas and the Express onto the from the 427 as you make your way onto the eastbound Gardner ramp. But that problem's gone, so everything's starting to get a bit better. Eastbound Gardner, volume delays, Humber Bridge east of Dufferin, and approaching Jarvis through to Cherry in that construction zone. Westbound Gardner busy as well from the DVP through to Cherry. Southbound 404 DVP still slow south of Shepherd to south of Lawrence. Northbound DVP is heavy approaching Eglinton up to north of Lawrence. Things seem to be getting a lot better though. Westbound 401 approaching the 400 Express to west of Islington is our busiest stretch. Eastbound 401 is our busiest stretch as you approach Islington Express to approaching Weston. It's the season of giving in Richmond Hill and Newmarket, and your local shops and businesses can help you find what you're looking for. Shop, stop, and dine on Yonge Street, Richmond Hill, and Newmarket. Visit vivanext.com. Your next report is at 8:11, and with the forecast, here's Jason Fraser.
We'll see partly cloudy skies for the rest of tonight. If you have any outdoor plans or maybe you're heading out, you can leave the umbrella at home because we're not expecting any rain showers. We'll expect to see the temperature dip down by another couple of degrees. Our overnight low tonight is -5.
Right now in downtown Toronto, clear skies, -1 degree, and at Pearson Airport, a few clouds and -2. 680 News Time, 8:03.
Breaking news from North York, where 3 people are fighting for their lives in hospital after they were shot on Highway 400 near Weston and Finch. Constable Alex Lee tells 680 News that there are some road closures in the area for the police investigation.
There's going to be a road closure affecting Highway 400 southbound from Steeles to Finch, as officers are going to be looking for the evidence of where the actual shooting took place. The initial report at Weston Road and Finch, or Finch Avenue West and Jaysdale Drive to be exact, is not where the shooting took place.
Police arrived on scene to find the 3 men already suffering from serious gunshot wounds. Details leading up to this incident are still very limited. Police still haven't released any suspect information. Stay with 680 for more on this developing story.
680 News Time, 8:04. The clock is ticking for contract negotiations as Ontario secondary school teachers continue tense talks with the province. Another strike is now on the table if an agreement can't be reached before Tuesday. 680's Brittany Dooley reports.
4 days before another one-day strike, Ontario secondary school teachers continued their deliberations with the province's Ministry of Education. Stepping out of today's Unifor Council meeting, Harvey Bischoff, president of OSSTF, says he's cautiously optimistic that they can reach an agreement.
We've got a government that has absolutely ignored the voice of educators and ignored the voice of parents. Even their own consultations where parents told them flat out, we're not interested in bigger class sizes, we're not interested in mandatory learning, they don't want their students, their kids losing access to the support staff that work in our schools. The government tried to bury that report and hasn't listened to parents whatsoever.
After releasing a list of their demands last night, OSSTF President Harvey Bischoff says they're willing to sit down with a mediator and postpone Wednesday's one-day strike if they agree to their 3 key terms. Education Minister Stephen Lecce, striking back at the union, says, quote, this demonstrates yet again that if OSSTF does not get their demands, they will continue to strike and hurt our kids. I'm Brittany Dooley.
Earlier today, the annual Ontario Regional Council met with various trade unions voicing their support for teachers. 680's James Mackin reports.
Unifor National President Jerry is about
ensuring that the Ontario families are participating in this discussion, and that the Ontario families felt that 40 has to reverse its cuts.
the negotiations continue to fall apart between the provincial government and the Elementary Teachers Federation of Ontario. If no agreement is reached by Monday, December 9th, the ETFO will begin phase 2 of their Work to Roll campaign, which involves the teachers not completing any administrative work. Stay with 680 News for the latest on the negotiations. I'm James Mackin.
680 News Time, 8:06. The suspicious detention of 2 Canadians in Beijing continues to strain relations with China. 680's Marcello Bernardo tells us that country's ambassador to Canada denies the men are pawns in a diplomatic dispute over the Vancouver arrest of a Huawei executive.
Michael Kovrig and Michael Spavor have spent nearly a year locked up on allegations of endangering China's national security. Ambassador Zhang Peiwu is rejecting reports they've been treated poorly. He's also deflecting questions about when their cases will actually be heard.
We have our judicial system and also competent authorities handle the case strictly according to law, and the legitimate rights of those 2 persons, are fully ensure and guarantee.
Meanwhile, he continues to demand Canada's release of Meng Wanzhou, the telecom executive accused of violating U.S. sanctions against Iran. She's been living under house arrest at one of 2 mansions she owns in Vancouver. I'm Marcella Bernardo.
680 News Time, 8:07. It's a season of giving. York Regional Police are running their annual Holiday Heroes Toy Drive in Newmarket, and this year, 680 News has partnered with the initiative. 680's Cam Dort reports.
Opening a gift during the holidays is an amazing feeling, but not everyone is fortunate enough to experience it. That's why York Regional Police run the Holiday Heroes Toy Drive. Carrie Rutledge is the special events coordinator and says all the donations directly help families in the community.
Everything that is raised today here in Newmarket is going to stay in the Newmarket Aurora area. So it will help our local community. So everyone donating today is literally helping their next door neighbor that's potentially in need.
You can also find more info on the toy drive on our website at 680news.com/holidayheroes. There's been plenty of families donating today. One woman says she brings her sons every year to show them just how important it is to help others.
They picked them themselves. They saved their money from their piggy bank, and we went to purchase some toys to come and drop off here.
If you missed today, no worries. York Regional Police will be back on Sunday. At Upper Canada Mall, I'm Cam Dorrit.
680 News Time, 8:08. It seems like it's everywhere during the holidays. You're done with the shopping and ready to pay, and then you're asked to tag on an extra buck or two for one of a countless number of charities. 680's Casey Taylor joins us with advice from an expert, so you don't sweat the next time you're confronted by Checkout Charity.
People call it the checkout line. Kate Bain is the managing director of Charity Intelligence Canada and tells me people phone in all the time to vent their frustration.
There they are at the grocery store or a liquor store trying to go about their daily business, and they're asked, do you want to make a donation to a charity?
And Bain says,
give my money to the homeless guy
You
outside.
have no information. You may have heard of this charity, you may not have heard of this charity, but you've got a whole bunch of people around you looking at you, and there's an enormous amount of peer pressure, and many people feel that
Peer
they
pressure.
give,
Don't
but
look at me to
they're
spend my
giving
money
out
any which way. I'm not getting
shoppers need
fucked
to
out.
remember it's okay
Mind
to
your
say
fucking
no.
business.
A simple not today doesn't make you the holiday Scrooge. I'm Casey Taylor.
So the gun on
I just don't answer them. But when they get all fucked up, they don't know what to do if you don't answer
Center
them.
with Craig Gear.
I say receipt, change, please.
I'm
They
here with
don't
Bill Coy of
fucking
Brothers,
get it.
and we're talking about what to do with all this snow.
I like to get out my Toro snowblower and get creative.
This should be good.
You can add snow effects to your Christmas tree with a Toro snowblower. Build your kids a snow fort.
And even clear snow.
Yeah, the Toro 38753 is an electric start single-stage snowblower that can clear an 8-car driveway, and it's just $779.
Talk to Vincent Van Snow here about Toro snowblowers at Coy Brothers.
KOOYBROS.com.
Now the 680 News gas price update. Enpro predicts the price will rise 2 cents at midnight to $1.15.9 cents a liter at most GTA stations. 680 News Time, 8:10.
Casalite Furniture's December sale is on now.
Hi, I'm Rob from Casalite. For 17 years, our December sale has always been our biggest event. Unlike other sales, this sale is on every item we carry. And this year, we have over 30 of our most popular vendors in on the act, including our top modern Canadian manufacturers, as well as a great selection from all over the world. Come and see what we have in store or online to enjoy our best pricing of the year.
Sale on now, up to 30% off all new orders. 3 locations, including Yonge, north of Eglinton. Visit Casalite.com.
Giving someone a CAA gift membership for the holidays is kind of like saying,
Happy battery boost for when your car doesn't start.
wishing you peace, joy, and lots of restaurant savings.
Merry quick help with that flat tire.
Say happy holidays with a CAA gift membership and give peace of mind with 24/7 roadside assistance across North America, plus great savings on shopping, dining, and more. Buy a gift membership by January 5th and get a $10 gift card. Details at CAAgift.com. CAA, making bad days good and good days better.
680 News Time, 8:11. Time for traffic. Weather together on the ones. Here's Craig Gear.
For a police investigation, they already shut down the eastbound and westbound ramps from the 407 onto the southbound 400. So that's in place now, but I am still seeing traffic traveling between these sections. So we'll let you know when it completely closes down. But just a heads up, right now, Jane and Weston are in really great shape. So if you wanted to jump off the highway and take those for the time being, you can. Everything's moving well. Everything back up to speed pretty much on the rest of the major routes. bridge as well. Southbound DVP is still slow. 401 to south of Lawrence. Eastbound Garner looking at some volume. Humber Bridge to east of Duffer, and then again approaching Jarvis over to Cherry through the long-term construction. It's simple to get 50 air miles bonus miles. Just fuel up 4 times with any Shell fuel. Only until December 27th. Details at shell.ca/air miles with fuel. Your next report is at 8:21, and with the forecast, here's Jason Fraser.
We'll see just a few fair weather clouds overnight, but no rain to talk about. Tomorrow, it'll be a much nicer day than it was earlier today. We'll see partly sunny skies and much warmer air. We're talking about a high of +7, and then tomorrow night, we'll see temperatures dip down to the single digits, but we will see some rain showers develop. Tonight, our overnight low is -5.
Right now, downtown Toronto, it's partly cloudy on -1 over at Pearson Airport. Similar conditions and a -2. 6 City News Time, 8:13. Coming up next, a list of your top stories and sports.
Simply Smart Home makes it easy to own a Google Home Mini for free. Simply Smart Home is the #1 Google Nest Pro dealer in Canada. Simply Smart Home is giving away thousands of Google Home Minis across Ontario. Eligible Ontario homeowners will receive 1 free Google Home Mini per household. Supplies are limited. Visit freemany.ca to register today. That's freemany.ca. Promotion is valid for Ontario homeowners only. No purchase necessary. Google Home Mini is provided at no cost. Google and Google Home Mini are trademarks of Google LLC.
Hey, you're that famous actress. You must travel so much. What's the best site for hotel deals? Hilton.com. No. One with crazy savings. Hilton.com.
With their price match guarantee, if you find a better rate, they match it and take 25% off.
No, one with lots of options.
Hilton.com has 16 top hotel brands. Hampton, Hilton Garden Inn, Waldorf Astoria.
Hilton.com. You should totally do their commercial.
Expect better. Expect Hilton.
You're good.
I know, thank you.
Applicable terms and conditions at Hilton.com.
This is All News Radio, 680 News. It's -1 with the clear sky. Good evening from the 680 News Broadcast Center in downtown Toronto. I'm Tim Chapman. Here are the top stories of this hour. A shooting on the 400 near Weston and Finch sends 3 people to hospital in critical condition. The MTO is in the process of closing the southbound 400 from Highway 7 to Finch. High school and elementary teachers are both hoping the province will listen to their concerns over contract issues, class sizes, mandatory e-learning, and the ability to negotiate pay, among other things. Another weekend, another TTC closure. There's no subway service on the Yonge portion of Line 1 between Shepherd and Yonge and St. Clair stations until Monday. There will be Wheel-Trans and shuttle buses running in place to get you to where you need to go. And coming up after sports, the latest details on raging wildfires in Australia. 6 City News Time, 8:15. Now, 6 City Sports from Sportsnet 5 and 90. Here's Colin Pesky.
Tim, the Maple Leafs offense has woken up in St. Louis. Zach Hyman had 2 goals in the first. Then on the power play, Jason Spezza made this a commanding lead for Toronto on the road.
Here's Morgan Riley finding Spezza. His shot scores! From just inside the blue line!
Joe Bowen on the Maple Leafs radio network. Jason Spezza making it 4-1 for the first time as a starter. Jordan Binnington pulled from the game. Jake Allen has now come on in relief. The second is underway. About 4.5 minutes gone by. 4-1 for Toronto as they lead in St. Louis. Elsewhere, the Avalanche have a 2-1 lead on top of the Bruins. The Penguins also up 2-1 on the Red Wings. 1-0 for the Lightning on top of the San Jose Sharks. The Panthers holding a 1-0 advantage over the Blue Jackets, and the Hurricanes ahead 3-1 on the Minnesota Wild. The Toronto Rock opening up this season at home. Right now they trail the New England Black Wolves 8-6 at the half. The Steelheads topped the Bulldogs 3-0 in OHL action, and the Marlies picked up a 3-2 win over the Rampage. Sports at 15 and 45 past every hour, or anytime on the home of Tim and Sid on TV and radio. Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
680 News Time, 8:16.
It's here. Our instant savings event is on now, helping you save on travel. Book a WestJet vacation package through redtag.ca and instantly save. Plus, get 250 air miles bonus miles with your trip. Book your vacation now and pay for it monthly with redtag.ca's new easy-to-use payment option. Don't wait. Plan your perfect trip today. Certain restrictions apply. redtag.ca.
'Tis the season of doing and seeing and frosting, and Highliner knows all that is exhausting. So dinner is covered, and it's a crowd pleaser. All you have to do is take it out of the freezer. We've got delicious, flaky cod that everyone craves, heavenly haddock that no pumpkin upstage, and a captain that keeps getting better with age. Finally, something that won't cause any stress. Satisfying seafood in 20 minutes or less.
Celebrating 120 years of Highliner seafood. Catch us in the frozen aisle.
6 City News Time, 8:17. 5 people have died in a house fire northwest of Edmonton. Emergency crews were called about the fire Thursday in the hamlet of Rodford Bridge near Mayerthorpe. Mounties say it's believed 2 adults and 3 children were killed. Chief Joe Blakeman says he's shocked and saddened.
Definitely a tragedy. It's going to be this time of the year, it's even worse, but I feel for the family and the people in the community and our first responders that it's going to be something that's, another blow to our community that we'll just have to gather together and deal with.
Mounties say there's nothing to indicate the deaths are criminal. Officials are investigating. 680 News Time, 8:18. Displaced residents of a North York high-rise that was the site of a deadly 5-alarm fire last month are calling for more accountability as they face an uncertain future. 680's Jordan Breed has more.
The tenants say they hired a legal team and they're ready to launch a class action lawsuit against the landlord. One tenant named Jeffrey says there's almost zero communication coming from management who are obligated to provide transitional payments by the end of the month. He says management has yet to offer him money, but he has received a notice asking for January's rent payment.
And this is unacceptable. They don't even think of our situation right now.
Protest is meant to get
No,
some
that
FaceTime.
apartment you can't live in, you still owe us money.
They're dodging
Right.
calls and hiding behind Facebook.
They never contact anyone. They just come here and just to say that they come here, but then they didn't even give us any updates.
I'm Jordan Reed.
6 City News Time, 8:19. Officials say the wildfires in Australia are too big to be extinguished, and they're waiting for Mother Nature to step in. ABC's Julia McFarland joins us with that story.
The fire has burned more than 730,000 acres northwest of Sydney and cannot be put out, fire officials have warned. The blaze is an hour's drive from the nation's most populous city. Several smaller fires have combined to form the massive blaze, and despite more than 2,200 firefighters out in the field, authorities said the fires are just too big to be put out and would only stop when there was rain. Bushfires since October have destroyed hundreds of homes across Australia. The government has been criticised for not doing enough to address climate change. Julia McFarland, ABC News.
Does the one thing have to do with the other?
This is 6 City News, All News Radio. A San Diego County man's under arrest in California after he was accused of plotting a shooting attack and posting videos of his training on YouTube.
30-year-old Stephen Homoki under arrest and accused of plotting a mass shooting in downtown San Diego. He allegedly posted videos online depicting semi-automatic weapons being pointed at people walking outside of a downtown San Diego hotel. Police say he checked into the hotel. In the video, he points the weapons at people below his room, shows ammunition around the room, and a Department of Homeland Security license plate in his room. Authorities believe Homoki was rehearsing a domestic terror attack at his home. A search warrant says police found several guns. Alex Stone, EBC News.
Coming up, traffic and weather together on the ones. 6 City News Time, 8:20.
Introducing Festival in downtown Vaughan. Live, laugh, and play in the new South VMC. Festival, it's a celebration. A Memphis Quadrille community. Register at festivalsouthvmc.com.
So you went out drinking and you did the right thing. You left the car at home. Thank you. But did you know that if you drank a lot and stayed up late, you could still have alcohol in your system the next day and could register a warrant, even a fail on a roadside screening device? It can take up to 12 hours or more from the time of your last drink for your BAC to reach zero. And over time, not sleep, coffee, or a shower sobers you up any faster. A message from Arrival
What a
at Drive
shitty
Sober
drug.
and ChangeTheConversation.ca.
City News Time, 8:21. Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Craig here.
This report is brought to you by Marquee Jewelers. Some major problems on the southbound 400 now. So because of a police investigation, we were told they were going to be closing the highway from Highway 7 down to Finch. You'd think they would do it, orderly, but no, it seems like it's closed basically from Major Mackenzie now. So we have a huge backup on the southbound 400 where you're not moving at all. All of the on-ramps, at least from Rutherford, what I'm looking at, are jammed solid as well. They didn't block these before they put the closure in place. Looks like they're trying to let people off on the Rutherford exit as well, traveling southbound 400, but it's just a mess as well. So basically, do yourself a favor. If you're southbound the 400, get off at Major Mackenzie, and it looks like Weston is in great shape. Jane is in great shape to use, but it is south of Rutherford. They're not letting anybody move here as they complete their police investigation. And it looks like the ramps off of the South 400 onto Rutherford are just jammed as well. And again, they didn't close the on-ramp from at least westbound Rutherford onto the South 400. So you're stuck on this ramp, and they're not letting anybody go. So it's just jammed up on the southbound 400. Basically closed from Major Mackenzie down to Finch for a police investigation. The holidays have arrived at Marquee Jewelers. Get up to 70% off select merchandise for that special someone in your life. 2 Bloor Street West inside the Cumberland Terrace. Your next report is at 8:31, and with the forecast, here's Jason Fraser.
We'll see partly cloudy skies across the GTA, and tomorrow we'll wake up to partly sunny skies, and it'll be a much nicer day in terms of temperature. We're actually going to see above average temperatures. Our average high this time of year is about 2 degrees, but our high tomorrow is going to be closer to 7. It will also be breezy. We could see some winds gusting up to 50 kilometers per hour. Tomorrow night, we could see some rain develop, but we'll see a low temperature around +5. And for Monday, we'll see some rain develop. We could even see a few flurries by the afternoon time, high of +8. And the flurries stick around for Tuesday, even though some of us do think we'll end up seeing some peaks of sun. High then of only -2 degrees. Our overnight low tonight is -5.
Right now downtown Toronto, -1 with a clear sky. Over at Pearson Airport, a few clouds, and -2, feeling more like -6. Remember, 680 News is the only radio station with a weather guarantee. Today's jackpot stands at $8,500. Coming up at the bottom of the hour, the latest on a highway shooting that's left 3 people fighting for their lives in hospital. 680 News Time, 8:24.
Rising 47 stories above church in Adelaide comes a building that can only be described as remarkable. Introducing The Saint from Minto Communities. The Saint takes its place alongside Toronto's most iconic buildings. Find your center. Register at thesaintcondos.com. Minto Communities.
When you need to know. Breaking news. A major political bombshell on the campaign trail. Traffic. FTO still has cleaned us up, and it's jammed from approaching Major Mackenzie to approaching Steeles as people avoid getting flat tires. And weather.
You don't need any rain gear this morning, but through the afternoon, make sure you have that umbrella handy.
When you need to know.
We're here.
This is 680 News. I'm Scott McGilvery. Selling a home can be complicated. In Toronto, I trust Frank Leo to get you top dollar for your most prized possession. His industry-leading marketing strategy gives your home maximum exposure. Go to GetLeo.com today. That's GetLeo.com and start packing.
Imperial Difference Carpet and Home closeout collections and designs. Up to 80% off. Pay no tax. Art for your floor, from their looms to your rooms. New merchandise every month at unbeatable prices. Shop the one and only Imperial Difference Carpet and Home, the largest rug manufacturer's gallery in the world. Make the trip to save thousands. One location only, 1177 Caledonia Road west of Dufferin, north of Lawrence. Go to ImperialCarpetandHome.com.
When it comes to getting the most money for your home in Toronto, I trust the industry-leading marketing strategy of Frank Leo. I'm Scott McGilvery. Selling a home doesn't have to be complicated. Get what your home is worth. Go to GetLeo.com today. That's GetLeo.com and start packing.
25 minutes past each hour, brought to you by the Illusionist Magic of the Holidays. Come enjoy the Polar Point Bar, artisan venue, and visits with Santa at the Nathan Phillips Square Holiday Fair starting today. Melanie is with Fair in the Square and says the event supports Epilepsy Toronto every year.
It's just a family-friendly event. Bring the kids, come for a date, come for a drink. It's literally sip, shop, and enjoy.
The event is on every day from now until the 23rd of December, with the exceptions of Mondays.
Christmas news at 25 minutes past every hour on 680 News.
680 News time at 26. Now the 680 News Weekend Business Report.
I'm Chris McCusker. The holiday season seems like an appropriate time to reward your employees. But what a new study from ADP Canada looked at exactly that. Heather Haslam is the VP of Marketing at ADP.
We're very interested in uncovering opportunities to improve the workplace in Canada. And so we periodically do sentiment studies to understand if there's something that perhaps we can learn, discover, uncover, and share with the Canadian market in hopes of helping to design a better place at work. This is the first time that we've done a sentiment study specific to holiday rewards. But what we were looking for was to understand, is there anything around people's expectations for holiday rewards that perhaps we can help employers and employees alike with?
So what do the results show?
2/3 of Canadian organizations do provide a holiday reward. So 61% of all of the organizations, based on the participants, said that they do get a holiday reward. Those could be made up of a number of
people don't
things.
celebrate that
One
holiday.
of which is a gift. So that's 16% said that they receive a gift. It could be additional time off at 14%. 15% said that there was a bonus. 40% are highlighting a holiday party.
So the message to employers here could be you should do something.
Yes, organizations should consider hosting an event or having some sort of holiday reward to really build team morale and improve employee engagement and motivate that engagement for the rest of the year.
Heather Haslam is with ADP Canada. And at the Business Center, I'm Chris McCusker.
24-hour gaming excitement awaits you at Casino Ajax. Test your luck on over 900 of your favorite slot machines and 50 electronic table games. Hungry? We have daily dining specials from 4 to 11 p.m. at spectacular prices, including T-bone steak on Wednesdays, prime rib and 2 lobster tails on Thursdays and Fridays, or shrimp and steak on Sundays. Must be 19 plus. Winner Circle Rewards membership required. If you gamble, play smart.
Casino Ajax. Okay, stop. For the best appliance deal ever, come into Goman's today. You'll save up to 25% on all Eco appliances. Yep, that's 25% off on top of manufacturer rebates and promotions. Pricing on most Bosch dishwashers are lower than, well, they've ever been. Energy savings rebate by the Government of Canada. Visit Gomans.com for details.
Right now, downtown Toronto, a -1 with a clear sky. 680 News time, 8:30.
#1 for news in Toronto. This is 680 News.
Good evening. This is Saturday, December the 7th. I'm Eden Tababa.
And I'm Tim Chapman. Here's what's making news this hour.
680 News traffic alert.
Southbound lanes on the Highway 400 are closed from Rutherford to Finch Avenue after a shooting that took 3 people to hospital in critical condition. A full breakdown on road closures in our traffic report just seconds away.
Another strike could be on the horizon for Ontario public school teachers as contract negotiations slip into their 13th week.
A Muslim association is literally rolling out its kindness
to help the needy and those in poverty.
Ahmadiyya Muslim Association volunteers are operating a shelter bus in Toronto this winter.
It's okay to say no to charity at the checkout.
We're not just going to throw loonies and toonies away.
Experts say it's one of the leading shopping frustrations this time of year.
Jordan Binnington has been pulled. Austin Matthews and Zach Hyman each with the pair of goals of the Maple Leafs all over the Blues in St. Louis. And the Toronto Rock opening up the season against New England. Sports at 45.
And coming up in business, Bank of Montreal reporting a profit of $1.2 billion for the past 3 months. Yet it announces the most sweeping job cuts we've seen from a Canadian bank in 15 years. We're looking at why. Straight ahead.
6 City News time, 8:31.
Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Craig Gear.
This report is brought to you by Carlton Cards. So some big time problems on the southbound 400. I'm not sure why they decided to do this, but it's basically closed, the southbound 400, south of Rutherford. So they've actually gone and closed it at Bass Pro Mills Drive, which doesn't have an off-ramp from the highway. It just has an on-ramp. So the on-ramp from Bass Pro Mills is really backed up, because they didn't close the ramp and divert the traffic before shutting the highway down. They also didn't shut the on-ramp down from Rutherford before they closed the highway, and they didn't let everyone off at, let's say, Major Mac or even Rutherford before they shut the highway down south of it. So you have all these people backed up everywhere around here because they didn't do it properly. But anyway, that's what's going on the southbound 400. Basically closed from Major Mackenzie. Get off there to save yourself a headache all the way down to Finch. This is for a police investigation. I am seeing some movement on the Rutherford camera, so maybe they are squeezing some people by and trying to relieve this pressure here. But all the ramps off of the highway to Rutherford jammed solid. It is moving though. The Rutherford off-ramp is moving, but get off at Major Mackenzie, save yourself a headache here. So basically closed from Major Mac all the way down to Finch. It looks like officially it's south of Rutherford, but it's really Major Mackenzie. The alternates right now are in pretty good shape, at least up near Major Mackenzie. So if you wanted to take Weston to the west or Jane to the east, everything should be fine there. But get off at Major Mac, save yourself a headache. To friends next door or family overseas, send holiday joy to your loved ones with Carlton Cards. Visit carltoncards.ca to save $6 on 4 cards, available at Sobeys, Metro, and Shoppers Drug Mart. Your next report is at 8:41, and with the forecast, here's Jason Fraser.
We'll see a few clouds across the GTA, but no rain for tonight. We'll see the temperature dip down by another couple of degrees. Our overnight low tonight is -5.
Right now, downtown Toronto, -1 with a clear sky. Over at Pearson Airport, similar conditions and -2. 6 City News time, 8:33.
Breaking news from North York, where 3 people are suffering from life-threatening injuries after a shooting in Weston and Finch. Constable Alex Lee tells 680 News that the shooting happened on the Highway 400.
Our officers arrived immediately on scene. They were able to locate and confirm that there were 3 victims suffering gunshot wounds. These gunshot wounds were deemed serious and life-threatening, and as a result, we got in touch with our friends, the Toronto medics, who assisted an emergency run.
Details leading up to the shooting are still very limited. We still don't have any information on possible suspects. We head now to the 680 Traffic Center with Craig Gear for an update on current road closures.
Hey, Tim. Yeah, so southbound 400 unofficially closed for Major Mackenzie. You're going to want to get off there to save yourself a headache. There's a huge backlog just south of Rutherford, all the way to approaching Rutherford. So they basically closed the southbound 400 from Bass Pro Mills Drive, and it's solid on the on-ramp from Bass Pro Mills. Unfortunately, there isn't an off-ramp there, so traffic is stuck basically from Bass Pro Mills or all the way back to approaching Rutherford. It looks like the off-ramp from Rutherford onto Rutherford from the southbound 400 is open here. They're slowly exiting vehicles, and it looks like they're reversing the backlog on the southbound 400 from the on-ramp from Rutherford. So people are actually reversing and using this ramp. I'm not sure if they're supposed to be doing that, but that's what's going on here. But southbound 400 for a police investigation right now, Tim, officially closed from Major Mac down to Finch.
680 News time, 8:35. Tensions between the union representing high school teachers and the province reached a boiling point this evening. The union saying that they stand in solidarity with high school teachers. As Melissa Nicopoli of City News explains, the OSSTF released a statement this morning saying it will call off the one-day strike next week if the Ford government makes a few changes.
The union saying they will accept Education Minister Stephen Lecce's proposal of private mediation and postpone next Wednesday's walkout if the government removes 3 key issues, which include planned increases to class sizes, mandatory e-learning, and allowing some room for bargaining on pay increases above 1%. Unifor President Jerry Dias and OSSTF President says the Ford government isn't bargaining reasonably.
Well, the province can't have it both ways. When we're looking to find settlements, and and looking to find some middle ground so that, you know, we don't have to take dramatic actions. You would think the government would be welcoming those types of proposals. But this is a government that frankly doesn't care.
Teachers are scheduled to walk out of the classroom next Wednesday, that's December 11th, if both sides do not reach a deal. Listen to Kabuli City News.
680 News Time, 8:36. China's ambassador is dismissing claims two Canadian men are suffering nearly a year after they were arrested and locked up in Beijing. As we hear from 680's Marcella Bernardo, they're both taken into custody days after the arrest of Meng Wanzhou at the Vancouver airport.
Family and friends of Michael Kovrig and Michael Spavor say they've had little access to anyone advocating on their behalf since they were accused of endangering China's national security. Ambassador Zhang Peiwu denies their rights are being violated.
For consular visits, we are just carrying out exactly what has been agreed upon by our two sides. And for other rights, legitimate rights, they are also, guaranteed.
The ambassador, who's only been in Canada about 2 months, has renewed demands to halt the extradition of the Huawei executive accused of violating U.S. sanctions against Iran. Unlike the two Michaels, Meng Wanzhou has been living under house arrest at her Vancouver mansion. I'm Marcella Bernardo.
680 News Time, 8:37. The holiday season can be a boom for charity, but it also comes with a potential downside, alienating customers who are tired of being asked to tag an extra buck or two onto their bills all the time. 680's Casey Taylor joins us with more on Checkout Charity.
Some people call it the Checkout Hold-Up.
Okay, and would you like to add a $1 donation to help hungry kids around the world?
Oh, no, that's okay.
Sorry?
I'm good.
I'm sorry, you don't want to give the $1 to hungry kids?
Managing Director of Charity Intelligence Canada, Kate Bain, says they hear customers' frustration all the time, but says it's okay to say no, especially when the charity is nameless.
It's just some worthy cause, and I think Canadians are much more informed, and they're looking for more information. And it's, yes, we're incredibly generous, but we're not just going to throw loonies and toonies away.
She says all that does add up, and saying not today is not the same as... I'm Casey Taylor.
680 News Time, 8:38. This Christmas season, you don't need a cape to be a hero. 680 News has partnered with the York Regional Police for its 23rd annual Holiday Heroes Toy Drive. 680's Cam Dort reports.
York Regional Police are normally hauling off the bad guys to jail, but right now they're hauling bags and bags of toys as the donations from families across the GTA keep rolling in here at Upper Canada Mall. Carrie Rutledge is the special events coordinator for YRP and says the donations are crucial this time of year.
This is such a great community initiative. As I said, this is our 23rd year doing this, and each year we have more families that are in need, unfortunately, and each year since our campaign grows, we are able to help more families.
One mom was there and got her sons to pick out toys themselves and then drop them off.
Just teaching the kids that we're fortunate, we're very lucky, and we want to be able to share that with other kids who maybe aren't necessarily as fortunate as we are during the holiday season.
Now, if you can't make it up to donate and still want to contribute, you can actually head to our website. Just go to 680news.com/holidayheroes. At Upper Canada Mall, I'm Cam Dorrit.
Still to come on 680 News, traffic and weather together on the ones, but first to check on the price of the pumps. 680 News Time, 8:39.
Black Friday has come and gone, but one big sale is still going on. Due to popular demand, the Aero Furniture Black Friday sale has been held over till Sunday only. There are amazing anniversary specials at up to 50% off on select furniture. And don't pay the tax on anything else store-wide, or don't pay until 2021. Aero Furniture's Black Friday sale, held over till Sunday only at all 4 locations in the GTA. Find out more at aerofurniture.com. That's aerofurniture.com.
Now the 680 News gas price update. Enpro predicts the price of gas will rise 2 cents at midnight to $1.15.9 a liter at most GTA stations. 680 News Time, 8:40.
From finger painting to times tables, school's the start of a journey that can take kids anywhere. Our education system needs to evolve to reflect this journey, to prepare kids for the future, their future. So we're updating it to give kids the tools they need to support positive mental health, develop real-life skills, and prepare for what's next, so they're ready to rise to every test, during school and after. Learn how the government is improving your child's educational journey at ontario.ca/education for tomorrow. Paid for by the Government of Ontario.
There's a reason you look people in the eyes when you shake their hand. A reason you don't like being late for meetings. and hate missing deadlines. It's why you put your customers first and pick your partners wisely. Because you know, in business, reputation is everything. Trust your reputation to FedEx for all of your international shipping needs. Express, ground, and freight. Visit FedEx.ca/reason. FedEx, connecting people and possibilities.
680 News Time, 8:41. Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Greg Gear.
This report is brought to you by ADT Security Services Canada. So the big problem is on the southbound 400. It's basically closed from Major Mackenzie down to Finch. They've closed it south of Rutherford at Bass Pro Mills Drive, which doesn't have an off ramp. And what they did was they decided to close the highway without closing the on ramps from Rutherford first. So everyone is stuck now. And I know all you wanted to do was some Christmas shopping or something, but now you're stuck here. The good news is what I'm seeing is
shut the off ramps, but not the
as an
on
off ramp. So if you're stuck in this backlog just south of Rutherford, it looks like they're reversing people off of the highway. Not sure when it'll be your turn if you're on the on ramp from Rutherford onto the southbound 400. It's very, very slow. And of course, the off ramp from Rutherford is also jammed solid. Rutherford itself is also backed up. So do yourself a favor, southbound 400, get off at Major Mackenzie and you'll save yourself a huge headache. Weston to the west is in really good shape, and Jane to the east also really good shape. And then you can continue southbound. Southbound 400 resumes normal operations at Finch. This is for a police investigation. Whether you're out shopping or visiting family this season, let ADT by TELUS Smart Home Security keep an eye on your home or business. Visit ADT.ca to learn more. Your next report is at 8:51. And with the forecast, here's Jason Fraser.
We'll see a few clouds develop overnight, but the good news is we're not going to see any rain showers. Now, tomorrow we'll see partly sunny skies, and it's going to be much warmer tomorrow than it was today. We'll see a high temperature of 7 degrees. Winds could possibly gust up to 50 kilometers per hour. Tomorrow night, we could see some rain develop as the low temperature dips down to +5. Tonight, our overnight low is -5.
Right now in downtown Toronto, clear skies, 0 degrees, and at Pearson Airport, a few clouds and -2. Still to come on 680 News, it seems like man's best friend may be smarter than we think. 680 News Time, 8:43.
Giving someone a CAA gift membership for the holidays is kind of like saying,
Happy battery boost for when your car doesn't start.
Wishing you peace, joy, and lots of restaurant savings.
Merry quick help with that flat tire.
Say happy holidays with a CAA gift membership and get peace of mind with 24/7 roadside assistance across North America, plus great savings on shopping, dining, and more. Buy a gift membership by January 5th and get a $10 gift card. Details at CAAgift.com. CAA, making bad days good and good days better.
There are lots of ways to treat your cold symptoms. You can carry around a spoon and syrup, or try alternative methods. How about those lozenges? Why not drop all that for a different way? Cold drops, just one drop with a naturally sourced ingredient for temporary symptom relief of cough, sore throat, and nasal congestion.
Relief with just one drop, Cold Drops.
For a retailer near you, visit colddrops.com. This product may not be right for you. Always read and follow the label.
This is All News Radio, 680 News.
Clear skies and 0 degrees in downtown Toronto. Good evening. From the 680 News Broadcast Center, I'm Eden Deveva, and here are the top stories this hour. Southbound lanes on the 400 are closed from Rutherford to Finch, as well as 407 eastbound and westbound ramps to the southbound 400 after a shooting. 3 people have been taken to hospital in critical condition, and there's no suspect information available at this time. Stay tuned to the 680 Traffic Center for frequent updates on road closures on the ones. And Ontario school teachers continue their deliberations with the province just 4 days before another one-day strike. Talks are still tense, with Education Minister Stephen Lecce saying that strike action will only hurt children. OSSTF President Harvey Bischoff, however, saying that they're willing to postpone Wednesday's strike if an agreement can be met. And coming up after sports, the investigation continues in Alberta after a late-night house fire that killed 2 adults and 3 children. 680 News Time, 8:45. Now 680 Sports from Sportsnet by 90 The Fan. Here's Colin Teskey.
Eden, the Maple Leafs offense finding their stride in St. Louis. They led 4-1 after the first, and Austin Matthews got one of those goals in the first. I was looking for another in the second.
Matthews had the puck knocked away from him, bouncing puck, he scores! Deep into Austin Matthews at the side of the net, just the way they drew it up on the power play. And it's 5-1.
So Matthews down with 18 goals on the year, 5-1 for Toronto after 40 minutes, and Jordan Binnington was pulled earlier in the first for the first time in his career. Elsewhere, the Avalanche have a 3-1 lead after 40 against the Boston Bruins. The Penguins also up 3-1 on the Red Wings. Now 3-0 for the Lightning on top of the San Jose Sharks. The Panthers leading 2-0 over the Columbus Blue Jackets, and the Hurricanes up 4-2 on the Minnesota Wild. Happening now, the Toronto Rock opening up the season at home, but they are trailing New England 11-8 in the third quarter. OHL, the Steelheads topped the Bulldogs 3-0, while the Marlies picked up a 3-2 win over the San Antonio Rampage. Sports at 15 and 45 past every hour or anytime on the home of Tim and Sid on TV and radio. Sportsnet 590, The Fan.
680 News Time, 8:47.
680 News Traffic Alert.
This is Craig Gear from the 680 News Traffic Center, southbound 400. Because of a police investigation is officially shut down south of Rutherford, basically at Bass Pro Mills Drive, do yourself a favor and think of it as being closed at Major Mackenzie and get off here. Save yourself a huge headache. Southbound 400 closed, basically Major Mackenzie all the way down to Finch for a police investigation. So all the ramps from in between points here onto the southbound 400 are closed. So keep that in mind. The 680 News Traffic Watch continues.
I was hungry and you gave me something to eat.
I was thirsty and you gave me something to drink.
The Scott Mission has been helping Toronto's hungry and homeless since 1941. And this Christmas, they really need your help. You can provide a complete Christmas meal for just $4.25 per person and ensure that everyone who comes to the Scott Mission is warmly welcomed by people who care. Make your gift online today at scottmission.com or call 416-923-2400.
Whether you're at home or at the office, sometimes the holidays aren't always a holiday. This year, let the Pickle Barrel lighten the load. With our fully catered holiday parties for the office or home, Pickle Barrel Catering takes care of every detail. Featuring our all-inclusive corporate lunch and the holiday home dinner menu, we've got you covered from the boardroom table to the dining room table. You cater to life's demands. So this holiday season, let the Pickle Barrel cater to yours.
You're listening to All News Radio 680 News. A small town in Alberta is now mourning after a house fire claimed the lives of 5 people. Roger Ward from the Canadian Press reports.
An investigation continues today northwest of Edmonton, where 2 adults and 3 children died in a house fire this week. RCMP said the fire in the home in Rochfort Bridge broke out on Thursday. They found one body initially, but then hours later, they found the other bodies and say so far, foul play does not seem to be a factor. From the Canadian Press, I'm Roger Ward.
Many of them don't know where they will be during the holidays. Residents displaced by deadly fire in North York high-rise last month now speaking out.
Jeffrey, a tenant at 235 Gosford, thought the worst was behind him. He doesn't know where he'll be living in January, all because Rom K management has ceased communication with some of the tenants and denied transition payments. The landlord has provided some temporary housing, but the key word there is some.
It doesn't matter if you have insurance or not. The bottom line here is we are tenants of 235 Gosford, so they should treat all of us the same.
Jeff says the landlord has reached out to him, but only for money.
They put again in their Facebook page, like, by January, we're going to have to pay our rent again.
I'm Jordan Reed.
This is 680 News. New research from the University of Sussex says that dogs are smarter than we think. According to this report, dogs can tell the difference between slight changes in words, as well as recognize different voices of speakers. They become more familiar with the language over time and can identify words even if they don't know what they mean. The study involved 42 dogs of different breeds, and all of them had different and frequent MRIs. At this rate, it's only a matter of time before it truly does become a dog's world. Coming up in just 60 seconds, traffic and weather together on the ones. 680 News Time, 8:50.
Fever burns like hot tamales, fa la 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 la. Cold and flu season's not so jolly, fa la 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 blah. Don't let cold and flu season give you the holiday blues. Get your flu shot to help protect yourself against getting the flu. If you do get sick, use Benylin and Tylenol products to relieve your worst cold or flu symptoms like fever or cough. So now, nothing else will mingle with your holiday jingle. Available at Shoppers Drug Mart. To be sure these products are right for you, always read and follow the label.
If I told you there are as many as 2,000 homeless youth in our city each night, would you care?
What if I told you most of them have suffered from abuse and neglect? Then would you care? What if I told you many feel safer on the streets than they do at home? Now do you care? What if I told you I really need your help?
How young do they need to be before you care? Donate $8 a month to Covenant House Toronto and provide homeless kids with a warm bed, hot meal, and a better future. Visit covenanthousetoronto.ca to donate.
680 News Time, 8:51. Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Craig here.
This report is brought to you by Dell Canada. So southbound 400 is closed from Rutherford down to Finch, but it's really should be Major Mackenzie. They've done a really poor job of it here. So we have tons of traffic blocked just south of Rutherford here on the southbound 400. They've really blocked it at Bass Pro Mills, which doesn't have an off-ramp. So they could have funneled everyone off there, and it looks like that's what they're also trying to do. It's just a real big mess. They're also using the Rutherford on-ramp as an off-ramp. So if you're stuck in this mess here, sorry about that, but you are slowly going to be out of here. So if you're traveling southbound on the 400 right now, get off at Major Mackenzie and save yourself a headache before the backlog gets, before you're able to get off. We are starting to get backed up here from just south of Major Mackenzie. So get off at Major Mac on the southbound 400. Use Weston to the west or Jane to the east. Those routes are looking fine as you make your way through this closure. Weston does get backed up as you approach Highway 7, though, so keep that in mind. Jane is looking a little better. Southbound 400 closed. Major Mackenzie to Finch. This is for a police investigation. Dell Small Business Technology Advisors know there's nothing small about your business. For amazing Cyber Week deals, call 310-DELL or visit dell.ca/radio. Your next report is at 9:01, and with the forecast, here's Jason Fraser.
This evening, some of you will see some clouds, but no rain to talk about. Tomorrow, we'll see partly sunny skies. And I think overall, it'll be a much nicer day across the GTA as we'll see a high temperature near +7 degrees. That is about 5 degrees warmer than where we should be around this time of year. Tomorrow night, we'll see cloudy skies and some rain showers are possible, low of +5. And then for Monday, the rain sticks around, and we could even see a little bit of some mixing going on. Talking about some flurries are possible by the latter half of the afternoon. We'll see a high temperature of +8, and for Tuesday, the flurries are possible once again, as we'll see a high temperature around -2 degrees. Our overnight low tonight is -5.
Right now in downtown Toronto, clear 0 degrees, and at Pearson Airport, clear skies and -3.
This extended forecast is brought to you by Porter & Charles Cooking. Dreaming of a kitchen reno? Affordable European appliances from the Porter & Charles collection are at an exciting 15% off during the a la carte sale. Ends December 31st. Visit ela.ca for details.
Coming up at 9 o'clock, southbound lanes on the 400 are closed from Rutherford to Finch, as well as 407 eastbound and westbound ramps to the southbound 400 after a shooting. 3 people are in hospital in critical condition. Stay tuned to 680 for the latest on that story.
Hey, your car looks really sparkling clean.
Thanks. I just finished washing it.
It's a pity about that snowstorm that's coming tonight.
Seriously?
Winter can be hard on your vehicle, but taking good care of your pride and joy can be rewarding. Right now, get 100 Air Miles bonus miles when you spend $25 or more in a single transaction on car washes at Shell. Only until December 15th. Terms and conditions apply. See shell.ca/car wash for more details.
What you need to know.
Breaking news.
An update now on the breakthrough in the ongoing labor dispute. Traffic. Problems on the eastbound 403 approaching Davis. All 5 lanes are blocked. Only the shoulders are able to get by.
This is a very potent storm that we're watching right now. When you need to know.
We're here.
This is 680 News.
Eeyore from Way to Boo has another reason to be depressed because Toronto has a new restaurant specializing in donkey meat. Vlog TO reports it's called Donkey King Barbecue, and it's in Scarborough and 4219 Shepherd Avenue East. It's a traditional Chinese restaurant specializing in items like donkey meat dumplings, donkey meatball soups, and surprise, braised donkey meat. They also feature a donkey burger for those who want their Western cuisine to be more adventurous. Donkey King Barbecue already open and available for order on Uber Eats. This is 680 News. Coming up in just 60 seconds, our weekend business report. 680 News time, 8:55.
Being an entrepreneur means always having ideas to grow my business. And when I turned to BDC to bring my ideas to life, they came up with solutions I hadn't even thought of. At BDC, being the only bank exclusively devoted to entrepreneurs means investing ourselves 100% in our clients' projects. So when you turn to us to help grow your business, it's our turn to come up with ideas.
Go further with BDC. BDC. Financing, advising, smarts.
All right, Herbie, what's wrong? I don't want to make toys. What? I was thinking of becoming a dentist. Then I realized I want to make something that will keep children happy for years to come. I want to make musical instruments for Long and McQuaid.
Coming to any Long and McQuaid musical instruments this holiday season, and let our elves help
This
you
is
with
gluten-free.
purchase, rent, or rent to own it.
Mango and orange. This is gluten-free.
Abominable.
680 News Time, 8:56. Now time for the 680 News Weekend Business Report.
I'm Richard Sever. What do you do when you turn a profit of nearly $1.2 billion in just 3 months? Well, after the Bank of Montreal, the U.S. sweeping job cuts. That's what happened this past week. BMO reported earnings that were better than expected. Profit for the third quarter up 5% year on year. BMO has so far reported earnings of almost $5.8 billion in 2019, up 6% from last year. Yet it said it's cutting 5% of its workforce, about 2,300 positions. It's the most dramatic job cuts we've seen from a Canadian bank in about 15 years. BMO's CEO, Darryl White, says the bank is eyeing what it calls, quote, continuous improvement of operating efficiency. That's why the layoffs are happening. Greg Taylor is portfolio manager with Purpose Investments.
Well, just good old-fashioned cost cutting to grow margins, and it feels like the bank's under so much pressure to grow margins every quarter. I think that's what suffered here at BMO, and they've had to really do everything they can to meet those margin expectations. And when push comes to shove, sometimes unfortunately they have to lay off people.
I mean, you talk about margins, but I mean, when you look at the bottom line, things look pretty good.
It is, and I think that's really unfortunate measure is that people are looking at these job cuts and thinking this is really not needed when the banks are making so much money, but it really comes back to capital ratios, and people are trying to make sure that we're prepared for the next financial crisis and make sure the reserves are still there.
BMO isn't, in fairness, the only bank cutting jobs. We've seen all of them do it in recent years, despite the big profitability. Where generally do these cuts come from? Do you know, Greg? Is it at the branch level or is it elsewhere?
Well, it looks like it's across the board, and also at the same time, you got a lot of technology coming in. There's a lot of technology improvements being made to all aspects of banking, and that unfortunately pushes people out. And so we're seeing that through all different parts from the branch level right up to capital markets.
That's Greg Taylor with Purpose Investments at the Business Center. I'm Richard Sutter.
I'm Scott McGilvery. When it comes to real estate, I only recommend top agents. In Toronto, that's Frank Leo and Associates at RE/MAX West. Frank has a multi-million-dollar marketing system that will get your home sold, guaranteed. Go to getleo.com and start packing.
When was the last time your family had their eye exams? Visit your neighborhood eye care experts at Pearl Vision and give your whole family the gift of clear vision. They're offering 40% off lenses with frame purchase, and they will help you find brands your family loves, like Burberry and Tory Burch. Plus, Pearl Vision direct bills most insurance plans and welcomes your current prescription. Arrange your family's eye exams at pearlvision.ca. Valid prescription required. Valid at participating Canadian locations. Taxes not included. Some restrictions may apply. See store for details. Offer ends December 31st, 2019.
Want to sell your home without drama? Call Frank Leo and Associates at RE/MAX West. I'm Scott McGilvery, and I trust Frank's world-class multi-million-dollar marketing system to create incredible demand to get your home sold. Go to getleo.com today.
Now, 680 News regional weather conditions for Walmart. Who's calling the shot this flu season? You are. Help protect your family with a flu shot from your local Walmart pharmacy. Subject to availability. No appointment necessary. Walmart Pharmacy. Partnered with Apotex.
In Brampton, partly cloudy, -5 degrees right now. In downtown Toronto, clear and 0. 680 News Time, 9 o'clock.
They're not going to tell us shit about this shooting, except that traffic stuff. Oh shit, that was Friday. Fuck me, eh? Just tell them to cut it shorter.
Here's what's making news this hour.